Hello everyone, this is Andrew Boylan.
And Ian McGill.
I'm Alex Corson.
Welcome to the commentary for the Man and Dog 30th anniversary.
Yep. I'm pretty excited to do this commentary because there's a lot that we can finally talk about here with this movie, you know?
Yeah.
First and foremost, I like the way you started it up with all this old school footage of Wonderland from 1998 and then tuned to railroad cars are coming from New Mexico, I think it is.
Yeah, this is from the Jukebox Band from Shining Time Station, which I grew up just listening to this song and looking at this footage. I really feel like I'm there because I experienced it in 1998. So yeah. I remember this with this music playing, which just, wow, that really brings it back.
Yeah, when we were filming this, I actually gave it a test. I actually would play some of the songs from Shining Time Station in the pier while at the same time I was playing this footage, and I was I felt nostalgia for something I wasn't even born for, but yeah, it fits, dude. It fits really, really well, I have to say.
Yeah. We just came from Wonderland Pier, actually. So.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we actually did. Yeah.
Oh, who's that kid?
Yep. Now, when is that photo taken?
That was August of 2001. So I'm 8 years old in that picture. That was the last summer for the 25 cents.
Yeah. 3 years older, yep.
I know there's more pictures of them that I have from the 90s that haven't been released yet. I know there's more in the internet.
And I know there's some that are floating around the internet.
Yeah. So I didn't know how this movie was going to start, because this went through a lot of ideas about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. Because again, I was running out of ideas of what we could do. Because after 4.0, I thought, well, we're never going to get better than this. What are we going to do this year? Vlogs. We're going to Bring Back the 90s Part 3. What are we going to do? And I thought, well, we have nothing new to show, or at least nothing new that I know of. So originally I thought, well, why don't we just do a concert or something? Because this will be the 30th year. Because I'm pretty positive it was 92 with all this stuff. Because this actually started, Ian, you found footage on YouTube from 92, and you can hear them singing.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so I assumed, okay, they're talking about the log flume. We got the log flume opened up in 92, so I'm pretty positive it was 1992. And if it's the 30th anniversary, then we got to do some kind of video for it. And I thought, well, what if we did, a concert film, which we kind of did, and we were going to use live instruments, and then we kind of nixed that and thought, nah, let's just do numbers instead of live performances, because it's hard to explain what we want to do. There were just so many ideas that I wanted to do with this. I had to time that perfectly.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we did a lot of puppet work behind the scenes.
I wasn't here when you guys did this night, right? Was I?
I think you were.
I'm not sure.
Maybe you were. Were you? What when we did
when you guys
Time?
did Time, yeah. I don't know if I was there. I think it was just the two of you.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think. Yeah, we were. I remember. You couldn't make it that day. Well, I believe we filmed that segment of Time in May sometime.
I think it was May. Yeah, we filmed. How long did it take to shoot this? 18 days.
May.
Yeah,
it took.
Yeah, we started. Okay, so here's the whole story. We started filming for this movie on March 12th of this year, and we didn't finish until June 1st, I think it was.
June 1st.
June 1st.
And I remember looking at all the days, because when you were editing this, you separated all the footage into days, and I think it took us 16, 18 days for us to film this. 16, 18 days over the course of 3 months.
Yeah. And
I just want to let you guys know right now, this is the most amount of footage that we filmed for a Man and Dog video to date.
Oh, yeah.
Just to give you guys an idea, I put all the just like I did in 4.0, I compiled all the footage into my timeline on iMovie. It was more than 6 hours. I can't tell you the exact number because my computer ran out of memory space. That's how much footage we shot for this movie.
Yeah, and there was a lot of... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Literally, the day before this went on the air, I remember Andrew telling me this. If we wanted to, we can easily make a sequel. That's how much material that we filmed here.
I don't think we're going to, though, because we ended up using a lot of it, because a
Yeah.
lot of it was just like us goofing around.
Yeah.
But this song, Time, Hootie and the Blowfish, I wanted to open up the movie with a number, like a song.
That was a good Photoshop job.
Yeah, that was good.
That was great.
Yeah, I did, because I was thinking of a way to open it. And then I already had that in the movie, and then you had Butter003. He had made a logo for it.
Yeah,
and
massive shout out to him for helping us out.
Yeah,
with
big
this
time,
like,
big time.
Yeah.
That's your footage right there, right?
But he had made a logo for it, and we decided to use it at the end instead.
This is my parents' footage. My mom filmed this when they were going over the bridge in her Jeep back in 1993.
Yeah,
Do you know which
remember.
month, Ian?
It was, I believe it was August. She just got a new camera and she was just testing it out, messing around with it. That's why she made that video.
That was
Yeah.
the bridge. Look how
Yeah.
low it was to the ground.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain to you some of the scenes in this movie. So, a lot of you don't know that. You guys know this, but the fans probably don't, because we haven't released it yet, and we probably never will. So Dan and I, there's Dan right there, Dan McDermott. Unfortunately, he's not here with us at the commentary. He's working at Wonderland right now.
Yeah.
It's like 8:30 at night. Wonderland's opens, and he's working. We're all off. So
Yeah.
But anyway, so Dan and I have been working there since 2012, and in 2015, after we brought the 90s back. Before we started making Man Dog videos, we made this movie, a documentary about Wonderland Pier. We called it Wonderland, and we met Roy Gillian, and we met all these guys, and they had all this footage and the pictures, and they gave it all to us. And I think I have something like 12 hours of footage that nobody has seen before. I got footage of the log flume getting built,
you
the
literally
giant wheel getting built, all of it.
Yeah, you literally have what I like to call the
Yeah.
National Archives of Wonderland.
Oh yeah, I'm the archivist. Yeah, we got all the team videos, we have all the pictures, all the footage. And this stuff you're seeing here, this stuff was actually from YouTube, but when we made the first movie, we thought, great, it's really cool. I like this documentary. It's really nice. It was a documentary about the park, and we had a lot of footage and pictures that nobody's ever seen before, and it was really good. And we tried to get it released, and unfortunately, we couldn't. Today, we can't, because a lot of people that worked, that were in that documentary are no longer employed with the park anymore, so we wouldn't be able to release it anyway. So then 3 years later, we made a sequel called Wonderland 2, and that was kind of like a comedy with a story in it, and that's where the car chase sequence came from. And this scene that you're watching right here, where we're looking at all the rides and we're flashing back to the 90s and the 80s, this was another scene from Wonderland 2. And when we were putting this movie together, the 30th anniversary, I thought, we have some of these great scenes from Wonderland 1 and 2. We can't release those movies, but maybe we could release some sequences from those movies and lump them into this film, and we could probably get away with it, and that's what I did. So this movie's kind of all over the place. There's a lot of scenes in here that feel like, well, this is kind of out of place, but it was the only way we could get some of this stuff out there and get it released. Like all the documentary stuff that you see in here, that was from Wonderland 1 and 2. And this car chase sequence, which I wanted to release so badly, because that was like 5 months of planning and filming that. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But
Yeah, what you guys will see, it's hilarious.
yeah, so basically the original idea for this was almost kind of like the Beatles Get Back. You'd see us jamming, thinking of stuff to do, and then finally at the end you'd see the concert.
Yeah,
Which
it's
was
like it culminates to it.
Yeah, which was all the songs. Like here we're talking, this was day one, we were talking about getting a piano, getting a drum set for Tony. That obviously changed. Because I thought people would think it's Pasquale. We're not trying to do Pasquale here. We're not trying to do Chuck E. Cheese characters, even though they are retrofits. But then I had this idea. There were a lot of songs that we wanted to do, but we just didn't have time to film them. Because it took forever to film some of these songs. Like, I wanted to do Old King by Neil Young, because that banjo in there, and again, that was a song that I heard in the 90s that reminded me of The Man and Dog. And that was another thing I really liked about this movie, because I thought, well, if we're going to have them just sing different songs, this is just stuff, we're trying to do something that people haven't seen before. Because, again, we had nothing new. So I thought, like, if we did a concert for the 30th anniversary with new songs, that would be new, but why these specific songs? And the reason is, the songs that they're doing remind me of the 90s and them back then, because that's what I was watching and what I was listening to. Shining Time Station, Hootie and the Blowfish, Tracy Chapman. We had a Tracy Chapman song planned for this, but we never ended up using it. We didn't have enough time. We did have one song that we filmed that we didn't even put into the movie, and at some point we're going to release that. I think we did The Railroad Cars Are Coming through New Mexico.
We did, yeah.
We filmed that, but we never used it in the movie because we ran out of time with editing. But we might release it. We had so much stuff we haven't released from this movie that maybe we'll do a director's cut or something.
Yeah. Now, speaking of cut, right after this film came out, Ian actually made a director's cut of his own, in which we like to call the Ian McGill cut. Now, I don't think that will be released. Maybe, I don't know. But basically, he just trimmed it down to like an hour and 20 minutes. But who knows? Let's just see if the fans watch it. But yeah, I remember that day. I was actually on my spring break from Stockton University. I was wrapping up my second year of college. I start my third year in September. And, this was the first time the three of us were hanging out in, like, for a while? Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, yeah, we were just hanging out, and we were talking about all this. We actually are doing the commentary right now in the exact same room we filmed this in.
Yeah.
So it's like we started out filming the movie in this room, and now we're kind of like finishing up our story with the film in here with this commentary.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but it felt like it was like it felt like everything came full circle when we were doing this. So But yeah, it was. I remember it was a very cold night when we were filming this.
Yeah.
It was like cold, and but yeah, it was also interesting to note because it's actually worth mentioning to you guys. Right after we filmed this footage, and actually right when we started filming filming this movie, I got employed by Wonderland Pier. And I never thought about that. Never thought about working at Wonderland Pier since I started helping you guys with these videos and everything. And at my parents' suggestion, they were like, you know what, just give it a chance and all that. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, I got hired, and I love Wonderland Pier as a job occupation. I absolutely love it. Like, I got to see you guys. I got to meet the fans. I got to meet these really awesome co-workers and maintenance men, and I'm really having a blast so far doing all this,
Yeah.
But yeah, watching this footage again, it really screams Get Back because of all the instruments and that we're talking. It's like we're creating a form of chemistry here. Oh, and by the way, all this stuff that you see, the bear and the fox, he built all that from scratch.
Ian made that.
Yeah, how long did it take you, Ian, to build that?
Well, that depends, because they didn't look like that when I first made them years ago, so I kept retooling them year after year, and that's how they look today.
Yeah.
Almost like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, Andrew, there's a lot that we could do with this anniversary celebration.
Yeah, and that's really what it was. It was a celebration, and the more I was putting this movie together, I realized, okay, like, this isn't just a man and dog movie. This is a Wonderland movie, because we couldn't release the Wonderland films that I made, Wonderland 1 and 2. We couldn't release them.
Yeah.
And I had all these scenes that I wanted to release, and I thought, well, let me lump them in here with this.
And that's what I liked about the opening. What I liked about this is like, okay, we know that this is more than just a man-dog video. This is going to be a celebration of all things, of the power of the nostalgia that Wonderland can encompass. Now, this is very interesting what you're doing here. I remember the day that you sent me pictures of this. I'm like,
yeah,
you are a mad lad.
Yeah, Wayne and I, we were, this was back in March, we were painting the carousel, all the horses on the carousel, and that took an eternity painting all those.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me all that.
But it's very tedious doing that. It looks easy, but it's not. And he had all these icy cups filled with paint all over the table, and he had one that was pink, and I thought, okay, as soon as everybody goes home, I'm going to take this cup with pink paint and run up there and change his eyelids.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. That's where I got that's why the paint is in a cup, if you noticed earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very unique addition right there with the fun slide. I wasn't expecting you guys to put something like that in the pier. You know.
Yeah, we did use that for. Excuse me, I'm tired.
Yeah.
We were using see, that's from the fun slide. That shot right there.
Yeah.
You see the whole balcony. I like that because again, originally at this stage in the game, we were going to have a live concert. And film it, and we were going to have all these pyrotechnics and lights. Like I was going to change all the spotlights into blue lights.
Thanks to the power of effects, not real.
Yeah. And we were going to have all these songs, like what you see, like when you see like the Union Train sequence, and you see all the song sequences that you see, whether it's me singing or them singing. That was going to be like one big concert, and I was actually thinking of getting like some people down below, like maybe like some family members or something, like at the bottom of the ramp, and they were just going to look up, kind of like how everybody looked up when the Beatles were on the roof.
Oh, yeah.
And we could get them like applauding after every song, like that's where the audience would be. That was an idea I had, but again, you have these great ideas, but can you do them? And then you realize, no, like there's just not enough time, and
Yeah, it takes a lot of execution to pull off.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, this took forever to do this movie. Because we started filming this in March. Even though it was only 18 days, we started this in March, we wrapped up in June.
Yeah, we did throughout the various, I think, just like 4.0, I think we did on weekends or something.
Well, we had to wait until everybody went home. Like, all this stuff was shot. All the sequences that you see of us doing stuff, mostly Ian, we did this after everybody went home. Like, we didn't do this during the day. We did this at night. At like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And by the time we were done filming, like as we got closer and closer to June, we had to stop the renovations and just do the song sequences. So that's why,
I remember.
Like that's why Hank's banjo never got finished. Like a lot of stuff never got finished.
Yeah, basically
because we had to do the songs.
Yeah.
Do you remember like the last 3 nights we were there?
Yeah, we
were there till like 11 o'clock at night filming all the song sequences. It took forever to shoot
we knew
that.
from the get-go, okay, we have no time to waste. We had to, film, and get these stuff filmed before, because we did a sponsor plug-in.
Yeah, I don't know who made that. Who made that picture?
I don't know
who made that. I have no idea.
I actually found out who did it, but again, because I'm not going to reveal names and all that. It's definitely not Butters. It's definitely not Butters, but it's somebody else. But
yeah, I don't know who it is, but I've seen that. Yeah, and this was also me poking fun at the fan. And again, we had that thing where I asked the fans, your man and dog video. That was another thing. We were gonna have like interviews and there was just so many ideas that we had for this. We didn't know what this was going to look like when it was all done. I remember asking the fans, can you give us like your submission of you talking about Wonderland Pier? And I did see some of those fan videos, and they were really, really good. The problem was we just couldn't fit it all in. We couldn't fit it. We had to cut stuff out. We didn't have time to film everything I wanted to do. And some people said, "Oh, my video didn't make it. My submission didn't make it." And I apologize for that. I tried to do as much as I could.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and it was a good ideas time here, doing this. But then you start executing it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. This is a lot to take it, because it was just so much. We had the scenes from the Wonderland movies. We had all this footage. We had the renovation. We had our job. I was doing maintenance work at 9 in the morning, lifting heavy stuff, moving stuff around, painting rides, and then we would do this for 3-4 hours after everybody went home.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. We snuck this in. I told you not to tell Butter 003 that we were going to put this in, because I wanted to surprise him that we were putting this in.
Yeah, Butters is
He had no idea.
Yeah.
It's SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. I have all characters SpongeBob.
Yeah, that was
funny.
great.
That was really funny.
Putting that in.
Yep, there's me here. Actually, I saw some comments that this was green screened. No, this is actually my room. This is actually, that's my room. I got arcade cabinets in there. They're not full scale ones, but yeah, that's me. I think I was like 4 or 5 years old. I think this was like 2003/5, somewhere around there. Yeah, I remember doing those rides. Yeah, the mini telecombat, I had no idea I rode that until I found a picture of it. I'm like, did I really did that? Now, I do remember doing a train on Asbury. That was 2005 something. And there's your interview here, Ian.
Yep. I wasn't able to deliver any pictures to Andrew because first
oh yeah,
I didn't know that Alex's pictures were going to be shown in this movie. So so
Yeah.
I'm like the.
I mean, at some time down the line, we might be able to release it.
Now,
I got quite a bit.
Now this footage here that you're seeing, this is all. None of that is on YouTube. That's all from this 1992. That's all from '92, by the way. That file footage that someone gave to one of the maintenance guys. I think it was a former maintenance worker that worked there for years, and he had it. And we were looking for footage for the first Wonderland movie back in 2014 when Dan and I made the first Wonderland movie, and I just kept it. I never released any of that stuff, so I just had it, and I thought, okay, let's release some of that, because again, we were trying to find new things to release that the public hasn't seen, and there's still stuff out there that the public still hasn't seen yet. We just got to ask permission for it.
Yeah, that was actually a clever idea that you did, Ian, with you making Bubba's lip, because it looked like his mouth closed all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, and you even said in the footage too. He said it's no wonder why, because he didn't even have a lip the whole time. Now, when you were making that lip, Ian, was it exactly like how it looked back in the '90s, or was it something else?
Tried making it as accurate as I could to what it looked like back then.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, that was something else too, because when Andrew was painting Bubba's eyes, some of the paint accidentally got landed on his fur.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, so that's why.
That's why we gave him the makeover.
Yeah,
because that wasn't even on the list.
Yeah.
You know, we had to do it just to cover up the paint because we couldn't get the paint out. And then once he put the fabric over it,
it looked brand sticking new.
Well, not only that, it looked different from the fabric that he had around his eyes. So then he had to do his eyes.
Yeah.
Because originally he was just going to do the eye and the nose, but it was different fabric. So now we had to change his whole face. And when we did the Railroad Corral, I remember when that teaser went up, people were saying, "Whoa, what'd you do to Bubba?"
Yeah.
Like people noticed, you know.
Yeah, they noticed it pretty quickly. I'm surprised. Yeah, that was also interesting too with the what do you call it? The spotlights. I didn't know when those came in, so that was pretty interesting. It's also noticeable too if you compare the photo from like what 2001 or something up until like 2004 something.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And this was also interesting what you did here. You actually gave us and the viewers like a general idea and sense as to what the lighting looked like back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it matches, because when you see the footage from '96, that's
the onlyest known footage, by the way, of the man dog.
It's the same lighting. Well, as far as we know, I mean, unless somebody has other footage out there that they won't release. Yeah, and the person that uploaded that marked the date, and I'm like, thank you for marking the date.
Yeah, August 7th, 1996. This was filmed. Yep.
There it is.
A year later, my sister will be born. Yep. And I'll be born like 97. About 3 years later.
I was 3 years old when that was filmed.
Yeah.
Or 3.5. It was August. So.
Yeah. There's a... Yeah, when I was filming this, I knew this was going to be a movie, so I'm like, okay, let me do some cinematic shots, like I did here when I slowly panned the camera down to the ship to the man dog box.
Yeah, you got a lot of great shots in here, and I remember, like, especially during the song sequences.
Yeah, you'll see it because
you would play it back for me when we were done, and I would see it, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like the one time I'm thinking of is when we did I Gave My Love a Cherry, and I was on the drums, and you moved the camera back up to the light. I think it was called
the Riddle Song. That's what it was.
No, I think it was I Gave My Love a Cherry, because I remember like when. Wait, it's called the Riddle Song? Is that the name of it?
I think so, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
okay.
that is
So I remember at the end of the song, when I was done on the drums, you panned the camera back up to the light, and I'm like, yes, that's what I wanted. I didn't even have to tell you that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Because I knew deep down that you want to do some flashback jumps, so...
Yeah, because I was going to flash back right into the light and make it white, and then go back to the 90s, which is what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Now, throughout this entire film, I shot this in 4K. I shot this entire movie in 4K, by the way.
This is one of the greatest animatronic documentaries about Pizza Time Theater you will ever see. The whole thing is on YouTube.
I didn't know about this until you showed me.
The whole thing is on YouTube. I've seen the whole thing hundreds of times. You're going to love that. That's a small garage. And not only do they have Chuck E. Cheese animatronics in there from Pizza Time Theater, they got Rock of Fire They got the Rocket Fire set in there. They got Billy Bob's stage in there.
Nice.
With Billy Bob and Looney Bird. It is, I don't know how they were able to fit it in that small garage. But if you watch the whole thing, the audio's terrible. It's really bad audio, but I think it's like a 16-parter or something. But it's incredible watching them, like, restore all those animatronics. It's great.
Yeah, it's like something we're doing here, you know?
Yep.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Once they get to the tape deck and they like fix that up, that was amazing. By the way, one more thing. I was talking to John Kavchuk, who's in this movie, and he told me, he said, you know, back before they got, here's what I think. I think in 1998, you know the reason why that CD says July 20th, 1998? You know why it says that?
What?
That was the first time it went on CD. And when it went on CD, they had, because I was wondering, well, what did you have before the CD? He said it was a tape reel.
That explained the spool that you found in the control box.
That explains the reel that we found, that plastic reel that was in the box, because originally what they did was, they had, I didn't know this, but it makes sense, they had a tape reel, because again, it was the early 90s, the tape would play, and then you had to rewind the tape. At the end of the night, when we would open back up the next day, you had to rewind the tape. That explains why sometimes they would play all 7 songs, because I remember them doing this. They would play all 7 songs, then they would go back to Rocky Top, then they would play Your Cheating Heart, and then after that, they'd go back to Rocky Top and do all 7 songs again. And I thought it was like Rocky Top and Your Cheating Heart, like a reprise or something, or whatever the word is. But it was, you know, that explains a lot, because it was a tape. It was like not a cassette tape, but like a reel-to-reel tape. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now this footage here, this is Wayne working on, our PR artist. He's still with us to this day. This was done this is from the first Wonderland movie. So this interview was shot in 2014. When I was making the first Wonderland movie. And he's in front of the Dark Ride, because the Dark Ride, he did all that stuff for the Haunted House. He created all that stuff in there. That's all him.
Yeah, he's he's a really talented guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's still with us. He's still there.
Actually, sometimes when I operate rides, some of the parents come up to me and said, do you know where that... okay, so let me explain. One of the most common rides I did so far this year was the fire engines. In the middle of the fire engines, you got this giant statue of a dog carrying a fire hose. Mm-hmm. Some of the kids compared that to, I forget what the character's name was, but it was from a television show called Paw Patrol, which is a big show kids love. Yeah. And I had parents asking me, do you know who did that? Because I had kids saying this reminded them of Paw Patrol. So I told them, hey, I know a guy who did it. His name's Wayne Sen. So I explained it all about what he did for us, and and they were amazed by his work.
Oh yeah, you could tell. Just look at the eyes on that dish with the spoon. You know, he's got a distinctive personality. The way he draws eyes, like as soon as you see an eye, you could tell it's a Wayne setting. You know what I mean? Like just the way he does the eyes. Yeah, a lot of his artwork. He really did a really spectacular job, I should say. Yeah. Doing those murals. They're still up, by the way, to this very day. Yeah. And this next picture, that's him hanging it up in 1989. In 1989, yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's the cow jumping over the moon when he was working on it. Yep. Yeah.
It's also really interesting how he did it. I think he used polyurethane
polyurethane foam,
and then he fiberglassed it. He also did that giant snowman that you see too.
Yeah, that's part of the 1992 footage that I have. That 1992 footage goes on for like a good 45 minutes. Nice. And I think I've released like 20 minutes of it. Yeah. But yeah, I want to hold on to some of it to keep it. Yeah, the Matterhorn. That looked like a tense ride. Oh Matterhorn. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Have you guys been on that ride, the Matterhorn?
I think that was gone by the time I was going around. Yeah, again, that was 92.
Now, all the stuff that you see here, that's all Wayne's work.
All of his work over the years. And sometimes he takes things and redoes them and uses them for other things. Yeah. The Dragon, yeah, that was it. He put that up in 2009.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, just look at the eyes, you can tell. Yeah. He's got away with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember the party rooms that
He has some of those in his shop. He just took them down. Those things of wonder, he has those still in his shop. They're still there. Yeah, if you look close on things, you'll see his name and the year. You'll see that. That was for the first Wonderland movie when he showed me the fur. That was 2014. I filmed that.
You were like starstruck.
Oh,
when
I
you
was
saw
unbelievable.
that.
Yeah, because we were bringing back the 90s when we did. Because here's the thing, that was filmed in 2014, because the first Wonderland movie came out in 2015. So not only were we bringing back the 90s at that time, but we were also making this documentary. So we were just in nostalgia heaven at that time, Dan and I. Because we were both in our early 20s, and we were just reliving our childhood years with all these guys that were there at the time. So
Yeah. Yeah, actually, if you looked closely, when Andrew was clapping together the fur, dust was flying everywhere.
yeah,
that was
because the fur just sits there.
yeah,
You just wipe it off. It's not a problem.
yeah. There was our boy Dan McDermott.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was his genuine reaction to the fun slide he had.
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah. Now the difference with that fun slide was that this one's like 80 feet, I think it was.
It's not as tall. The other one was taller. We couldn't fit it in the building, so we had to get a smaller one.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, actually, I have a really good question for you, Ian. When you were doing Bubba's fur, I should say, how long did it take you to do all that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really keep track of time for this stuff. For this kind of stuff they usually do.
Yeah.
I'm always distracted.
Yeah, this was actually pretty good because when I was pulling up to Wonderland, I'm like, let me just get this. And not only that, Journey's Working for the Weekend was playing.
That's Loverboy, by the way.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
God,
It's all right. They're all 80s. So
yeah. I think my brain just farted.
nah,
doing
it's
that.
all right.
Now
This TV, I'm glad you brought this. You started bringing this in during 4.0, didn't you?
No,
was it after?
I think this was this movie.
Oh, it was this movie when you did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you started bringing that 4.0. Yeah, we found you can. That's used for camping, right?
Yeah, it's like outdoor. You can pretty much use it for whatever you want, really.
Yeah,
But it's mostly designed for outdoor use. But you can pretty much.
But you
go-
just download videos from the internet and you put them on there.
Yeah, you just download them on this flash drive
Yeah.
or whatever, and you just plug it in. Yeah.
Now this sequence here, let me explain this. We had a whole sequence in the first Wonderland movie of our general manager that used to work with us, who doesn't work with us anymore, and he talks about the expansion of the monorail because he worked there for 40 years. So he was the one that had all the stories. And I wanted to use this footage of the train getting installed when it went outside, but I couldn't use his interview because, again, he doesn't work for Wonderland anymore. So I had to replace his interview and say everything he was saying and still use the pictures because I wanted the pictures and the footage to get out there. Now, the footage of the old monorail going around, the Red Raider, that was home movie footage that Mr. Roy Gillian had, and he was kind enough to lend to us when we made the first movie. It's all silent movies, like it's not. There's no sound to it, but we were able to use it.
Yeah, I think that home footage that Mr. Roy Gillian had when he filmed it. I think you were telling me this. I think that was filmed in like 1964, 65, somewhere around
Well,
there.
the pier opened in '65, so it was between '65 and maybe 1970, 71. It had to be before '72 because '72 is when we got the carousel, and you don't see that there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it had to be before 1972.
And the Frontier Express theme, I think that came in like 1985, 86, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to Wayne about that. Wayne did not make that mural that says right on the Frontier Express. He didn't make that.
Oh, I know.
Because
That I didn't
that was
know.
before he worked here.
Yeah, but I didn't know. Like maybe he added that in later when he started to work there. But
no.
he said that was already there when he
Yeah.
joined.
When did the Thomas facade thing came into
When
play?
when it got rethemed to as a Frontier Express.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when the monorail got extended outside in the mid '80s, that's when they switched it to the trains. They took the Red Raider off and they changed it to the trains.
Yeah, I'd like to. When
Chuffy Chug.
Yeah, Chuffy Chug. Yeah.
Not Thomas the Tank. I know so many people think it's Thomas the Tank Engine. It's not, you guys. It's not. They think it's Thomas because it's a blue train with a face. It doesn't matter. If we painted it green, everyone would call it Percy. If it was red, everyone would call it Francis. It doesn't matter.
Or
It's
James.
Or James, yeah, whatever
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that was.
I know the names. I grew up watching Shining Time Station.
Yeah, I didn't grow up at Sign Time Station, but I did watch a lot of Thomas growing up. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that was
so-
interesting. But I actually, when I first saw this footage of the lighting stuff, I was digging that.
Yeah, but everybody was constantly kicking them off, and they took them off, and they looked terrible half lit.
Yeah.
And they're talking about bringing that back. I would love it if they brought it
Oh,
back.
I would love to see that.
Yeah,
come
they're
back.
thinking about it. I'd love to see them bring it back. If they ever bring them back, put me on that project. I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh,
Pepsi Bear.
Yep,
I miss
Pepsi Bear,
that
yeah.
thing. I miss that. I miss that old giant wheel and the
Skydiver
and the city jet. Oh man, I
Yeah.
miss the old Wonderland. Bring it back.
Yeah, I would be, yeah. If
We
it,
brought the man and dog back. Let's bring everything else back.
yeah, let me tell you something. If someone managed to take a DeLorean and make it into a functioning time machine, the same type of we seen it Back to the Future, would you guys like to go back in time to revisit it all again?
If it was only that simple. The only way we can is through the magic of video cassettes. Now, this interview was from the first Wonderland movie. You notice Dan looks a lot younger here.
Yeah.
That was filmed in his
all
shore house.
All this model, all of this models that you see here, that's all Dan McDermott.
Yeah.
He made all that. And quite frankly, when we all saw his work on the models, I was like, it looks exactly the way it looks.
Yeah, and I felt kind of bad. And also, the other thing was, Dan was supposed to be up there with us when we were doing the renovations.
Yeah.
And he couldn't make it. And I felt bad because we already advertised this thing to have him in it with us.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, he's not going to be in it. So I had to use his interview from the first Wonderland movie that hadn't been released yet.
Yeah. Now this is actually, there's a story behind this footage here. Okay, so Rapid T Rabbit filmed this footage here. This was
Richard Conception.
Richard
right?
Conception, yeah. He filmed this. This was at a Chuck E. Cheese in, I think, Newark or someplace. It was a suburban. It was in the suburbs of New York City when he filmed this. This was filmed in August of 1984. I talked about that in the commentary for 4.0. Just to make myself clear, these are not the animatronics that got retrofitted into what you see now.
No, they're not.
But they have that
Cheese
same.
out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you killed it with the accent. That's how you sounded. Yeah, that was bad.
But Rich Conception, he was a big fan of Wonderland Pier. He grew up with Wonderland, and he played Rabbit T. Rabbit for the Doodah Parade.
Yeah,
and I think
did.
the Baby Parade as well.
Yeah,
but he
also hosted a television show up in New York City.
He did, yeah, and he would come up and visit the pier all the time. He was a big fan of the Wonder Bear, and he sadly passed away in
he did,
2017.
sadly.
And he gave me actually some footage for the first Wonderland movie to use, and I couldn't use it, but it was really good footage. It was the front of the building, the way it used to look with the Starficades on the front, which is very rare. And, you know, it's a shame that he passed away, because I remember he would always visit us, and this one summer he didn't visit us, and I asked John, I said, John, where is he? And he goes, oh, you didn't hear? And he told me, you know, and I was like, oh boy, that stinks.
Yeah,
he was such a nice guy.
Yeah, he was a really fun guy from what I've been hearing from some folks. I would love to see that facade come back.
I would love to see it too.
Yeah.
Well, we could bring it back. Look, Wayne still has the design. That's all the design. That's the measurements. Wayne still had it. He still has it all. Those are the original blueprints and the original design that Wayne drew up in 1989, 90, 91, whenever it was, when we put them up.
Look at that Trebant going right there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the reason we took them down was...
Hurricane Sandy?
Yeah, Hurricane Sandy happened, and one of them came off, and we decided to just take the rest of them off. Oh, my gosh, those chubby cheeks. Oh, my gosh. Just so we're clear, every time we went to Wonderland, I always had to wear that railroad hat. You know why? Because Bubba was wearing a railroad hat. That's why. So, by the way, this interview was from the first Wonderland movie. My hair, I was growing my hair that year. Look how long it got.
Dude, you look like you were growing a mullet.
It got longer. Because that was filmed in, I think, like May of 2015. And then by Christmas, I had... If you watch the Force Awakens review from AB in the Films, you'll see how long my hair got. You'll see it. So anyway, the Starficade, he still has the original design, so we could bring it back if we wanted to. Yeah. But that's up to management, you know. Yeah. I would love to bring it back.
Yeah.
I saw a Skydiver for sale.
Yeah, you did.
Let's bring it back, man.
I think you also saw that City Jet was up.
Yeah, there was another City Jet for sale from Schwarzkopf, and I mentioned it, but hey, you know, it's not up to me. Yeah. I would love to bring it back. I'll paint it blue and yellow for free, man.
Yeah, and you'll be the first one to operate it.
Oh yeah, I would love to operate it.
Yeah. Oh,
now this story everybody knows, but again, 30th anniversary. We're talking about stories, we're talking about memories, and I thought that's a big memory. I'll leave that in the movie, even though everybody knows that story.
Yeah, that was interesting though, because that was actually your first time figuring out.
My dad had a camera. He should have taken pictures, but he didn't. It would have been great.
Yeah, but I was about to say, that was your first time, actually discovering. Is this how they stay on in a way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that was how it started.
Yeah. That simple visit,
That picture.
Little AB didn't realize that many years later he will be the official caretaker of these guys.
No, I didn't. Never thought of that. I always wanted that when I was a kid. I just had to wait until I was 21.
Yeah.
Damn McDermott.
Yeah.
Whenever Man and Dog video we do next, we got to try to get him back instead of just being on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him now and see if he picks up. Hang on, maybe we can get him in on this commentary. It's 9:24. We're probably closing up soon. Let me get him on the phone. All right, I'm calling him now.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get Dan on the phone.
Oh, this is getting interesting, guys.
Let's see here. I've done this many times before on commentary.
All these drawings that you see here, that's all Andrew here. Didn't you make that in school a couple times too, dude?
The one colored in was done when I was in the 5th grade. Yeah, so I was 11. Wonderland's closing in 5 minutes, so I doubt he's going to pick up the
Wonderland
phone.
Pier will be closing in 5 minutes.
Let's see if he picks up the phone. He's not picking up the phone. He'll probably call. We're going to be going on with this commentary for the next half hour. Probably around 10:05, he'll call me.
Yeah, that's Wayne right there.
Old-fashioned Pepsi cans. Look at that.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That takes me back.
Yep. This is when Pepsi was cool. Yep, I remember that. I don't drink Pepsi, just to let you guys know.
That's not Wayne's design, by the way. That's Dan. Dan drew that from memory.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's better than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually funny because the way we have the computer, because we're actually watching this film on a computer, the computer is sitting in the exact same spot where Ian did his interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, there's our man, John Capshaw.
I had to fight to get this interview in this movie, because John technically is kind of not with the park anymore. I mean, he still helps us out, but he's not an operations manager anymore, but he helped install the Man and Dog. I'm like, you know what? I'm putting it in no matter what. I don't care. Because this is good stuff. And some of his interview in this movie didn't make it into the first Wonderland movie. So I kept, the stuff when I'm asking him questions, all that didn't make it into the first Wonderland movie. And I thought, it'd be perfect for here. That was filmed in John's office, by the way, at Wonderland Pier. It's not there anymore.
Oh,
where the birthday party area was, there used to be this red door. It was like a storage closet. His office used to be back there in the corner. Now we have the birthday party area. It's wide open.
Yeah.
But his office used to be back there before they tore it out.
And keep in mind, all that was located right next to the carousel.
Oh yeah, right next to it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is where you were talking about the discovery that you made. I will never forget this. I think this was during Christmas time. We had the footage playing on the TV. We were listening through it through this big giant stereo speaker, and we were listening to it over and over and over again until Andrew finally cracked and said, "I think I hear it."
Yeah, it was hard to hear, but I thought I did hear it. You can definitely hear it from the 1998 footage of the train leaving the station if you listen closely. Because I found that footage on YouTube from some random person, and you can hear them singing Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
And I just, we had to paint over the 3, and Ian wrote the 2 on top of it. Yeah, this stuff was never in the first Wonderland documentary, but I thought this is perfect for this.
Yeah,
Dan and I were in John's office, and we were interviewing him for the Wonderland movie. And the Wonderland movie turned out really, really well. I wish we could release it. We just can't because we don't have permission to do it. Because a lot of people in that movie are no longer with the company. Had we released this movie immediately after it came out, we probably would have been people would have seen it. But we tried to get a DVD release for it, and we could sell it in the park, but it never went through. So
yeah.
We tried. I have it. I have a copy of it.
Yeah.
You guys have seen it. I
Yeah, I
showed it to
see.
you guys.
Yeah, I showed it. That was
Yeah.
like a really fascinating story from beginning to end about this place. It really I saw stuff I never thought I would see, and neither did Ian.
Well, I made like 3 different versions of the first movie. The first version I thought was really good. The second version I changed all the music for non-copyright songs. The third version was a director's cut with more scenes in it, which is my favorite version, but it has all the songs that, you know, we would get sued if we sold DVD copies of that. I mean, like, I got Hootie and the Blowfish, I got John Denver music in there. Like, we could get sued for that had we sold it for money. But that's why I made a copy with royalty-free music, so we could sell it.
Yeah.
But still, nothing happened. But it's all right. It is what it is. I'm still making Wonderland 3 next year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nobody's going to see it, but that's okay. It'll be a good end to the trilogy. Yeah, whoever videotaped that, I don't know what you had in mind by bringing a birdhouse camera with you on that, because it was so obviously that you did. But thank you for filming that and saving that and putting it on YouTube, because now everybody can ride the city jet. Those who didn't get a chance to.
Like me.
Yeah, I barely got in there. I was always afraid to go on that, and then in 2003 I rode on it for the first time, and I loved it. And then in 2004 I rode on it again, and I came back in 05, and
It was gone.
empty parking lot. Yep. And I was so hurt and upset, because that thing was a staple at that park. It'd be like getting rid of the man and dog. It was like, how could you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just can't get rid of the city jet.
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, April Fool's Day. The new I didn't know
Yeah.
what you guys were talking about.
I'm talking about SpongeBob, dude.
Yep, SpongeBob.
We always talk about SpongeBob. SpongeBob's great, man. Nickelodeon 90s all the way.
That went too far.
Yep. I was just kidding. Come on.
Krusty Krab.
Yeah. Oh my god. Nickelodeon, please don't copy strike
Nah,
us.
it's alright. Nah, it's okay. We can sing that. That was a picture I put on the YouTube page in the community on the YouTube.
Yeah. I actually took a picture of Ian watching Nickelodeon while he was sewing.
Yeah, you had the Nickelodeon bumpers on the TV.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were
I
playing
did,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that took me back, man. I was
That was
like
bad.
9 years old again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, that was actually a really good thing that you did that you covered Bubba's
that
cylinders, because it was like sitting out in the air, and
That's gonna
we know
protect
that
it.
it was going to get damaged, so it's like, okay, you know what, let's get that thing on top.
Because his head is going to be down a lot more than it's going to be up. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. His head is down during the night when we power them down, and then his head's going to be down all winter. So,
Yeah. Now this was good. We wanted to make a poster to celebrate, you know, the anniversary. And
Yeah.
Ian, what software did you use, Ian, to make that?
I believe it was called. I don't know if it was called Color Light or Color Sync. One of those two. I believe that was the name of the
Yeah.
software.
Yeah. And then to get the poster printed, we actually had to go to Staples. We had to go to a local Staples. We printed out on this very special sheet of cardboard that would guarantee to last. And this footage that you see here, this was the last day we filmed footage before the pier was open for the season. Because we opened up like 3 days later. And that was my first official day as a ride operator. Oh, and by the way, in case if you guys hear any bagpiping music, that's actually Ian's dad.
I was actually playing a video. It's gotta sound louder than that.
Yeah.
we had I wish we had taken an iPhone or something into Staples and filmed that poster getting printed out, and we didn't. I wish we had.
Forgot all about it. Yeah.
Now this is actually out of order. This was filmed here.
This was like mid-June something.
Yeah, this was filmed after like the movie was edited, but the movie wasn't released yet. Because if you watch the rest of the movie, Tony's wearing his old jacket.
Yeah, this is.
But that looks so good. I'm like, I gotta put this in the movie. I gotta throw it in there somewhere.
Right before we open.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, you're in
30
your
minutes.
my
uniform.
Wonderland uniform.
Yeah.
This was like 30 minutes before. And actually, the funniest part was that literally that same day, a fan came up and noticed it. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was.
And we have the navy pants.
003.
Yep, Butters, yep.
We have the pants. We just got to put the pants on.
Yeah, and we did, yeah. It
I
will
might do
definitely,
that tomorrow.
yeah, that will definitely match his suit.
Oh yeah, it matches. We just got to.
And also, and you did a really, and actually that was really clever with you coming up a way to protect, what is it? Excuse me, to protect the metals.
wire?
Yeah, the wire. You covered it up just to make it insulated.
On his whiskers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, you guys see more than I do. Because I can only see from the pictures. Like, I remember stuff from memory, but again, I was only 3, 4, 5 years old, you know? So, I paid attention to some of the things, but not all of it. One of the things I always did notice, and I never brought this up, and I always get this feeling every time I hear that song. When they do Your Cheating Heart, there's a moment, I'll never forget this, there's a moment, like, when she says, I've never seen the night so long, that line. During that line, Tony always moves from his right to his left all the way over stage. He used to always do that in the 90s. And then there was that long period of time in the 2000s where he didn't move at all. And then in 2007, once they got their air hoses fixed and they were moving and talking, he did that again for the first time in like 7 years. And it brought me right back to being a little kid again. Because I always notice he always turned that way when she says that line. And he still does that to this day. So I was like, whoa, man. I remember paying attention to that when I was a kid. Yeah. Little things like that.
When you were when you were screwing in the poster, you had to be like really, really careful.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know like where you're going to screw it in.
Right.
And
if we get holes in the fence, we can always paint over it. We're going to paint over that fence again anyway. We usually do it once every 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't done it since, 2020?
Yeah.
So in like another year or so, we're going to paint it again.
Yeah, we were testing out his mask to make sure that it works properly, and it really did. Though he did encounter like a brief moment where his eyelids got stuck. And as you saw, he had to like lift it up a bit.
This was the first time they were running this year.
Yes, yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you had to do that. You had to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, my grandmom had that picture in a photo. She's got like hundreds of photo albums of all the grandkids, and I saw that picture, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm taking this. That's going in. I know there's more Man and Dog pictures. Yeah, this when I found that tape, I've had that cassette tape for years. And again, I was trying to find new stuff to put in these Man and Dog videos, and especially into this movie. And I had the old tape of the, recorded audio that I recorded back in 2004. And I'm like, well, I never showed this before. Let's put this in the movie. Mm-hmm. This movie's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it does.
One of the things that everybody... Because when this movie came out a little more than a month ago, at the time we were recording this commentary, Wayne saw the movie, and he liked it.
Awesome.
I think John saw some of it. I sent him the link. John's got way too much on his plate right now. I doubt he's got time. He probably skimmed through this. He didn't watch it. But then again, a lot of people have skimmed through this, they tell me. But the one criticism I always get from this movie is that it was a little long. It didn't need to be that long. And I said, well, it could have been longer.
Yeah, that's true.
It could have been longer.
Yeah, I remember you texting me updates in like a week or two before this went up.
Yeah.
Originally the rough cut of this was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And you were able to trim it down to like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, like we don't need to see every single, like for example, one of the big things I was trimming down was like when Ian is sewing on Bubba's fur on his mask.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's 2004. Those are the stuffed animals. Yeah, I'm so happy my parents took pictures of everything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take pictures of that. But anyway, yeah, when he was sewing on Bubba's mask, I had you just kept filming and filming and filming, and I'm like, they don't need to see every little stitch, like make a montage, you know what I mean? Because they get the idea,
Yeah.
Right now, Ian's looking through some CDs here. I don't know what you got. Anything related?
Yeah, coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what do you call it? But like I said, a good 99% of this movie was filmed on a phone. Literally, I was using my iPhone to film this. I shot this at 4K, 30 frames per second for any film nerds out there.
Yeah.
But when we do the next Man Dog video, I'm thinking about investing in getting an actual camera.
Yeah.
So that way, I don't have to because, like I said, my computer literally ran out of memory when I was importing all this footage, that I would make sure, in case, if Lord forbid, if we need that footage, we have backups.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about getting like an external hard drive that yeah, that was a functioning outlet. It's not there anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. Our electrician probably took that out. Well, he's not with us anymore, but he was our electrician for years, so he probably took that out.
Yeah, and that's what exactly. Yeah. You also mentioned too that when you're watching the Rockefeller documentary, what was that guy's name?
Aaron Fector?
Aaron Fector, yeah.
He created him.
Yeah, he created him. He said that he was so upset that okay, so there was a period in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know what exact era it was, but there was a moment where the Rockefeller explosion got switched to the animatronics that you see now. Munch's Make Believe Band and all that. He said that he was so distraught and upset by all that the only thing he had left was like a few buckets of merchandise, which was the stuffed animals and the recordings. Which, while the audio was bad in a way, this is about as close as you can get, really.
Oh, wait a second. No, you're talking about Chris Thrash.
Chris Thrash.
Yeah, not Aaron Fletcher.
Not Aaron Fletcher.
No.
That was Chris Thrash.
Yeah, Chris Thrash was the big. He's the Rockefeller fan.
Yeah. Sorry for all the confusion, all the viewers, but
no, it's all right. I think we talk about that in the movie.
Yeah, we did. I figure it's worth mentioning about it again because I know because I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of animatronic fans did that when they were younger. Mm-hmm. But it's so easy now because nowadays, like I'm seeing it now with Chuck E. Cheese. Like people are uploading show tapes now. They're uploading all these official audio files of them, and like you're hearing them, and it's like how are they able to get all that?
I don't know.
Sorry for yawning. It was a long day for us.
No, it's been a long day. Yeah, we were swimming in the pool. We went out and got dinner. Then we went on the boardwalk. We were riding rides. It's almost 9:30 at night, and I got to be at work in the morning. We're exhausted. You guys are so lucky you're off tomorrow.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what you. But yeah, that was actually that's all Andrew right here.
Yeah, that's the tape
player. Did you record
player.
it at this time? Did you record both from the tape and from the camera? Because
No, I didn't. Not in 2004. 2004, I only did the tape. And
the audio right here sounds like it's from the 2005 footage.
No, it's not. It's not. The 2005 footage was different because because that was 2004. That was 04. 2004, we did film them with the camera in 2004, but my dad was filming them, and I was recording them on audio because I needed it for that. But 2005, it was different.
Speaking of 2004, an AB film movie coming to theaters this fall.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I had to do a pop placement joke again.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hey, maybe sequel to Shark Death.
Yeah,
we were talking about that this morning. We'll see.
Yeah,
probably not. Nah, but
we'll probably do as like a
who
joke.
knows?
Who knows? Let's see. Yeah, but this coming up. This where it gets very interesting.
I found this. John gave me all this stuff before he left because he knew that they were just going to throw it all in the garbage. And he said, "Hey, you're the archivist, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Here's all the VHS tapes. Here's all the cassettes. Take them all." I said, "Okay." I just nabbed everything. He gave me what was it, 20 cassettes or something. It was a lot. It was a lot of stuff. I got all this Wonderland stuff. I keep it in.
If I were you,
my bedroom is practically an office for Wonderland.
Yeah.
It really is if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of stuff. That hat is so worn out.
Yeah.
That's been through the wash so many times, that hat that I'm wearing.
Yeah. We actually I think you got a new hat, right?
Yeah, but that one's starting to die out.
Yeah. But yeah, this was like he said, this thing that he's going to play for you guys, this was an actual radio tag that aired on a lot of local radio stations like Cat Country, White Rock 96.9. For any person that lives in the South Jersey area will know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Because this is filmed, because we're airing this movie nationally, they have no idea what he's talking about with the radio.
It only aired for just this one day, March
It was on March 9th of 2000.
Yeah. Now this whole sequence, I feel, went on a little too long. Like I could have edited this down, but
the only thing you had to edit when we were doing this was the phone number.
Oh yeah,
I had to take the phone. I had to take the phone number out.
Because
Yeah,
that's still his number to his.
I don't want people calling him up. No.
Still his phone number to this day.
Yeah, take the phone number out, man. I ain't putting that in there. No,
No way.
he'll kill me.
No way.
He'll like, you take that movie off right now.
Now, another thing special about the radio tag is the music.
Yeah.
That's in the background.
Uh-huh.
And I think Ian may have something about
He's got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so the music that you hear, this is actually from a CD that Ian had. You can't get this anywhere because I tried looking up. It's very, very rare. But it's called A Collection of Old-Time Favorite Songs, Carousel Music, played by an authentic merry-go-round organ. And I believe this is the same type of music that played on the carousel.
It's the same CD that we played on the carousel back at that time.
Yeah, that's amazing. The more it's actually the actual name of this was our director, I think it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That was Andrew's first time on camera finding out that Ian had the CD. You were like, you were starstruck when.
Yeah, you filmed all this, man.
Yeah,
This is
by
great.
the way, that's actually the carousel at Hershey Park.
Yeah, that's
Oh, really?
actually.
Yeah.
He's talking about
He-
the album
he's
cover.
holding an album cover and he's showing us the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually I was shocked. That was my first time hearing that, and I was an infant in 2000. Ian and I were both infants during that period, and I think you were
I was still living in Ocean City at the time.
Yeah.
We had just moved away from Summers Point at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why they put Fort Lauderdale. Maybe it's because it's like a frequent. Maybe I don't know if they did that as a joke.
Maybe they have a house in Fort Lauderdale or somebody lived there. I don't know. That sign's been up there since the '80s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got pictures of that.
Yeah, I actually did the miniature golf earlier today, the one that Gillian's used to own along with the water park, and I was going through, I saw the water park, I saw the kids area, I saw the water slide, big water slides. Nothing that much has really changed, but I mean, there's no more lighthouse where the kids area is. No more lighthouse.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
I remember going on that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, this is from the first movie.
That's a rare photo right there.
Yeah, it is rare. Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah, I had this sequence and I'm like, okay, this is going in. This is going in. I had to be careful because I had the original cut from the first Wonderland movie because that's where this scene is from, the Pepsi Bear scene. There are some pictures in there of people that are no longer with the company, so I had to take those pictures out. But it was only like 2 pictures. But the rest of them are here. Yeah, which is good.
But that's
look, now take a look at that, guys. Look at that. Look, there's no log flume there. Look.
Nope.
No, there's
log
not.
flume wasn't there.
Until a year later.
Nope. The Indy 500 Speedway was there. That roof to the left. That's what that was.
That's actually really cool.
That's the Indy 500 Speedway. See that sliding gate right there in front? That's still there. It's still at the park. It's hiding behind the rocks on the log flume. If you look over there, you'll see it. It's still there.
Yeah. Yeah. The reason why they built this bear was because back in the day, Wonderland Pier had some type of like branding deal with Pepsi. I think it was. It was PepsiCo.
Well, they wanted to bring attention to the park. It's just what John says. They wanted to bring attention to the park, and they built the Pepsi Bear. That I remember seeing the Flyers hat on that. I had no idea they had a picture of that. They didn't have any close-ups of the Flyers hat. They had one picture of him in the background with the Flyers hat on, and I remember when he had that Flyers hat.
That was the year they went.
That
was the year they went to the Stanley Cup against
in '97.
Against the Detroit. I think it was Detroit Red Wings. I think it was.
Oh, here's the scene.
Yeah.
Now this scene obviously changed a lot because originally in the teaser I was gonna sing this song, and I didn't like the way my voice sounded. There was too much echo, and I thought,
motor was running in the background.
Yeah. That's another big factor.
I thought it would sound better if Hank sang this song because he looks like like he would match with Rex's vocals from Shiny Time
I
from the
agree.
Jukebox Band.
Absolutely.
Like at first I thought Rocky, but then I thought nah, it works better with Hank.
Yeah.
And then I came up with this idea because I was
you
able to
did
find
that.
this.
Yeah,
feature.
you actually started doing that in one of your music videos, and
Yeah.
it was. I love that. I absolutely love the editing.
It's the song.
Here.
It's the song, and it brings back because I remember listening to that tape, the lullaby tape of the Jukebox Band, and being at Wonderland Pier in the mid to late '90s, and just remembering that.
It felt Wonderland felt like Wonderland. Like you
did.
felt like you were in a
Yeah.
dream. You were like in a fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, this place was better than Disney for me.
Yeah.
It still
I
is.
love that shot with the.
Yeah, from the fun side, that shot worked out. That was a great shot.
So mostly, the 90s, most throughout the 90s, that's sort of when Wonderland Pier was mostly at its pride.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, when it was, like in its heyday.
Well, I mean, that's just my opinion, you know, like it doesn't necessarily mean that, I mean, look at all the kids that are growing up with it now, we're going to change things in 20 years, and they're going to say, oh, it was better when I was a kid, and,
let me
you had footage of this, I was blown away.
New Year's Eve, okay, this was filmed New Year's Eve 2021, I was up there hanging out with the man dog, we were having fun, and all of a sudden, they stopped working, like...
Dan McDermott's calling.
Dan
I told you.
Yep. Hang on.
Dan!
Yes.
We are in the middle of doing a commentary for the Man and Dog 30th anniversary. You're being recorded right now.
Oh, okay. Hello?
Anything you want to say to the fans real quick about that movie? You were a part of it, dude.
Just thanks for watching. It's been quite a journey through the last, my goodness, it's been 8 years, I think, since we started working on the Man and Dog project. Maybe 7 years, 2015. I can't do mental math in my head.
Yeah,
But
no, it's all right.
Regardless, it's been a long time, and we've spent a long time planning and getting ready for these films. So it's been quite a pleasure to put together these for all the fans. I appreciate seeing so many people throughout the summer coming to Wonderland and acknowledging everybody. That as a employee, but not only an employee, but a fan myself, a lifelong fan. It's definitely a rewarding experience to see fans throughout the summertime. Today I just ran into one, as a matter of fact. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely been an exciting time, and looking forward to more to come.
Awesome
Stuff, dude.
Fantastic, Dan. All right, so I'll give you a call later.
Sure.
All right,
Whenever you're around.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Dan. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
See ya.
Yes, sure.
All right. So what were you saying about New Year's Eve?
Okay, so New Year's Eve, the animatronics stopped working. We were looking at each other confused, and then it eventually got to a point where it's like, okay, you know what? Let's just dance. So we did that. Andrew, mind you, was operating loading of the monorail at this time, and he was like, "Oh, I thought, oh wow, they must have really liked the songs." He saw that they're not working. He goes to his call box and goes, "Like, dude, I need someone up here ASAP."
Yeah.
And one of the maintenance men investigated it, and it turned out that the air compressor either got I think the air compressor got kicked, or the circuit breaker kicked. It was one of the two.
Yeah, it stopped working.
Yeah.
And
Luckily
we
we got it up and
and we
running.
had that problem one of the nights when we were doing the puppet work. Like one night when we were shooting the movie, towards the end, we had a night where we came in. We were gonna do.
I think it was like Hold
think-
My Hand or Time. It was one of the
we were gonna do Hold My Hand. We did my song scene, and then we were gonna do them, like the mouthing Hold My Hand, and the air compressor broke, and we couldn't film that. So
Yeah.
I had to come in the next day and have my supervisor try to fix it, and he did fix it. And I'm like, okay, now we can go back up and film that scene, because we started advertising this movie for June 24th, and we were like, we got to get this movie done.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite song sequences. I love these sequences. One of the fans actually said, can I take all the song sequences and put them together and make a concert video? I said, sure, go ahead.
And he actually
did.
made it into a concert film.
He did, yeah. This worked out really well. I love this.
Now, the drum set that you got.
Yes, the drums. Okay, so let me explain that. I work with a DJ, and I asked him, because he's got a lot of instruments, and he knows people, and I said, can you get us a drum set? And he said, I will get back to you. He did. He couldn't get a drum set. I asked you guys if you knew anybody. I asked other people if they knew anybody. Nobody knows anyone with a drum set. So I had to rent one. I was trying to avoid that. So I rented it. We brought the drum set up there for 2 days. We set it up. It's so obvious I do not know how to play the drums. You guys know that already. But
this just feels so nostalgic.
yeah,
this song,
but I wanted a drum set up there, and that shipping and receiving for the kick drum, that's a piece of poster board that I just cut up and wrote shipping and receiving on and just leaned it up, and I still have that. Yeah.
What was interesting is that when I was filming the concert scenes and everything, it actually taught me a really good lesson as to how to do camera angles properly and how to frame shots, you know? Like this scene right here.
Yeah.
I had to frame the camera to make sure, and the guitar too, I had to frame the camera to make sure that that you don't see, like, human hands.
Yeah, because we were moving their hands and pushing buttons. Ian and I were standing behind each character and pushing buttons, and you were holding. Yeah, I know, it stunk, and we had to make sure you did it right because I couldn't see. You were filming us, and we had to duck down on our knees for the whole song. And like I remember, I would control the mouth because I knew the songs backwards and forwards, so I had to synchronize the mouth with pushing the button with the song because we would play the song, and I would tell Ian, all right, Ian, eyes open, eyes closed, eyes open, eyes closed, head torso, head up and down, hands move this way, and it was like, you know, because we tried to get them all in one take, and it was rough. Shoot, this took a long time, and we had to make sure the lighting was perfect with the mood, with the songs. I mean, it was so much. We will never do that again. It was so much work. If we do ever do that again, we'll probably do like one song. Because doing like I think we did like 7 or 8 songs that way. It was like that's why I ended up singing Hootie and the Blowfish.
This is actually one of my personal favorites from the scene. It's like I turned the camera over, flashback. Yeah. I know what this footage is from, but
1998.
1998. Yeah. Then you had the train as a comment. I think it's one of my personal favorites because it's I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like Tina Turner is singing that song. I don't know about you guys, but it felt like Tina Turner was singing it.
Grace sings this on the Jukebox Band, right?
Yeah, Grace sung it, but the way she was singing it sounded like Tina Turner.
Whoever does the voice for Grace.
Look at this amazing footage of Wonderland.
Yeah, we had all
that combined with the song, it fits so well.
Really, with Wonder Bear.
With Wonder Bear right there.
Giant Wonder Bear statue.
And that's what I was trying to get across in this movie, because we've never really talked about that aspect of it. We've never shown it before. We've talked about it, but we've never shown it before. And I thought, this is the 30th anniversary. We got to get this footage out to the public and show them what it was like back then, because I remember that. And if we show them with the songs, with the music I was listening to at the time, again, I was only 4 or 5 years old, but it does work because I remember it.
Yeah, I like to. It's basically like Wonderland from the eyes of Andrew as a child. And it felt like that. Yeah,
and that was something we never really tapped into before. Because I'm trying to think, like, what could we do with the Man and Dog that we haven't done before? You know, that's from the 1992 tape that I was given when I made the documentary. Thank God the lights dimmed like that. That was great, man.
Yeah,
that wasn't
planned.
That was not planned at all. That worked out perfect. Yeah. And he just kept it on the Gillian sign. Oh, man, it was such a great shot.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the fans really got into making that. I wonder if he kept that box.
I kept the box. It's still in there.
I noticed something else in the box, that somebody shipped some fabric for Bubba's ears, pink ears.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it just sitting on the box. I'm like, what, did someone leave their trash here? Because it was wrapped up in a bag or something, or a gift bag. I'm like, who left this here? And I open it up like, oh, this is for them. Okay. And I put it in and then I put it in the crate, you know.
Yeah. This is where I feel like this is a part where the outreach that we receive from fans, like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. It's just really awe-inspiring in a way, because like when we have fans, like I don't want to repeat myself here, but when we did the 4.0 commentary, I made my point clear that these guys have gained a cult following. They really did.
Oh yeah.
And it really, really shows. Like, you got fans helping you out and everything. Like, the Man Dog are playing up the wazoo and everything. And, like, you know, if it wasn't for Andrew's work, you know, like to bring it back to '90s, that was the video that kick-started everything here.
Yeah, I didn't plan on that. Oh, I just dropped a quarter.
Hey, we could have used that to play the Man Dog.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
More than 20 years now.
More than 20 years now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was $1 20 years ago. That's right.
Wait,
Yeah, we did put the ring on Henrietta's finger. We did
Yeah,
end
we
up
did,
using that.
yeah.
I gotta tighten that on her finger. That we gotta fix so many things. We didn't even.
I highly agree with you.
Yeah.
yeah, I was about to mention that.
Well, there's always the next video. We do the next one. We can fix them up.
That is true. That is definitely.
And that time, and when we do
Actually,
that, we'll have
speaking
plenty
of
of time.
Yeah, speaking of fixes, you actually sent me a video like a couple days ago where you actually managed to fix Rocky.
Yeah, I did. I fixed his mask because you could see the mechanism holding up his eyes underneath the eye hole. So I was able to fix them. Because remember, it took a long time to fix that mask, even during the movie.
And a fan
Remember that?
notices that the mask wasn't on properly. So that's why his eye. That was part of the reason why his eyes were scratched.
Well, you know, it's hard because I was trying to get it to stay up, and it wouldn't stay up, no matter
Right.
how much I screwed in. Because when I screwed in the screws to the wood, the mask wouldn't go up, it would get tight on the eyes, and then the eyes wouldn't be able to move, and the eyelids wouldn't open, and everything would get scratched even more. So it was frustrating. That banner I really like.
Yeah.
We still have it. I put
yeah.
it back in the crate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't use that in when we were open, but I wanted to use it for the movie, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah. And Cool Guy Studios is the guy that made that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Cool. He was actually really thankful that we were able to use his banner in the film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everything
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, good. So, yeah, he was actually really Yeah, I think I just glad that he understood that we can't be able to like put it up, obviously, because A, we wouldn't get permission, and B, in case of. Because we get really windy days at Wonderland, and everything
And with
blows
that
around
window
faster.
behind us,
Yeah.
behind the man and dog.
There was actually a day this summer where it was so windy, all the feathers on top of Henrietta blew
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
So there was a day where Ian and Andrew had to fix that. Oh,
You just sewed the
this.
bottom of the feathers to the bottom. All right, can I say something before we get there? I've seen some of those comments when this first was released to the public in theaters. I'm using the word theaters in quotes. What was up with you guys saying I want to drink the black water that Rocky has? What in holy hell? What are you guys talking about?
I think that movie. Let me tell you
That
something.
is some sick stuff, man. What
I was looking at
that?
I was looking at the comments because he actually had the thing set to premiere, so I was able to watch the instant reaction from people as they're watching it. They came up with so many memes for this movie. It's not even funny.
It's got more memes than Shrek.
Yeah,
Like,
or The Emperor's New Groove.
yeah, that too. I mean, like, it's like, what is up with that, you guys?
Now, it's actually really interesting to point this out. When we were taking Rocky's mask off, I was playing commercials based off Sonic the Hedgehog, alright? I don't know if it's obvious to you guys, but I'm a huge fan of Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog, all that.
Yeah.
So I had it playing on the TV. It was actually interesting because the fans actually noticed it. It was also coincidental because this movie came out on the 24th. The day before that, it was on the 31st anniversary of the franchise, Sonic the Hedgehog. So fans picked that up right away, and they noticed all the commercials. They were hearing all the commercials and all that, and I'm like, I'm surprised you guys were able to hear that. Hopefully, when we do 5.0, I'm going to try send Andrew the clips of those commercials that played, so we could include those. You know.
Well, we might. I don't know what we're going to do for 5.0. Even if we do 5.0, I mean, like I hear rumors that we're going to be open for Christmas. If we do, great, we'll do 5.0. If not, then we don't.
Yeah. But that was and actually another shout out to Butters here. We actually FaceTimed him and he actually gave us
Butter 003, right?
Yeah, Butter 003. Yeah. He actually gave Andrew step-by-step instructions as to how we could take off the mask properly, and
Did you film that or no? I don't think you did.
No, I didn't because I was
Yeah, I
using
would
my
have put
phone
that
to
in
FaceTime.
Yeah, because that's right. Yeah, because I was gonna say I would have put that in the movie had you
Yeah.
filmed that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, but we did but Butters FaceTimed us, and he's like our man and dog advisor at this point.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Help from fans, you know.
we have like at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 kids. Well, not kids, I should say fans, because everybody's at a different age, but they all say the same thing. I'm the number one fan. I'm the number one fan. I would say like 7 kids have said that they're the number one fan. And I know that they are because they keep coming back to it. Like I know these families at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get that fixed too.
Yeah, we gotta get. Yeah, we took the bandana off. I don't like the bandana that Rocky has on now. We gotta trim that up and make it look better, or we gotta sew that back because we saved that. I didn't get rid of that. We saved it.
Yeah,
we saved everything.
That took a while for you, Andrew, to like really get.
I'll never take his mask off. I'm never taking his mouth off ever again. I'm never taking his face off again.
Yeah.
Never again. It took forever to get it back on. It was a pain taking it off. And again, that's why I don't want to because I did that with Bubba one time, and I could never get his eyes and eyelids to close properly. It took forever to get the mask back in place. So when I have it back in place, I'm never touching it again.
Yeah.
But it took a long time to get it back on, and I got to fix Rocky's eyes. His eyes are all messed up again. They always are. It's always a pain.
Yeah.
And I remember some of the comments people were saying, like, this movie's rated G. You decapitated him. How can this be rated G? It should be rated R. And I'm like, you've never seen it.
Here's an excuse, guys. Jaws was PG.
Exactly.
Of course, you had to include SpongeBob.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to.
It actually would be pretty funny that instead of 6.5 hours later, you should have put it in 2,000 years later.
It would have been funny if we had a narrator throughout this movie. So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire I still say Can You Spare a Dime is the funniest out of the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob. That's like every episode is a classic from the first 3 seasons, but that one is one. If I've ever laughed the most, it's that one.
Yeah. Oh, and just to let you guys know now, no, it didn't take 6.5 hours later, but it did take.
No, it took a good like 45 minutes though.
Yeah,
it did.
It did. It was actually interesting too because when we were putting it off, we were actually playing an episode of Shine Time Station on Ian's phone.
Yeah, you downloaded stuff off of YouTube and you were playing it on your TV, so we were playing that in the background. We were also playing. I remember when we were painting the monorail ramp, the ramp to go up. You were playing. What were you playing? Like
it was a lullaby tape.
No. Well, that, but the Shining Time Station lullaby.
The VHS openings.
VHS openings to all the classic Disney movies that I have, and it's like that was going down memory lane, man. Yeah. I love that.
I also downloaded openings from like Nickelodeon films and all that. Like I grew up with like Disney and Nickelodeon.
The moment of truth.
Yeah. That was interesting because fans never saw what these animatronics looked like, and I heard one
we have in other videos, but never in my videos.
Yeah,
this is new.
This was creepy with his mouth dangling like that.
I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah. I've never seen this before. I had a picture. I don't know if I put the picture. Did I put the picture in the movie of me holding his head in my kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom took that. So there's a story behind that too, by the way. My mom, Halloween mask anybody? So anyway, I came home with that. You guys were in the car when I pulled.
Oh my god! Okay, yeah, I remember that.
So when I took that head home because I was going to clean it, I had to rent out a carpet cleaner and clean it at my house. When I brought it to my house, I knocked on the door. My parents were home. I walked in. My mom was on the phone with my Uncle Mike. Now my Uncle Mike has always said, and by the way, that day just happened to be his birthday. And he's always said,
Happy birthday.
And well, that particular day when we came over to the house with the head.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that day. And my mom was on the phone with him, wishing him happy birthday, talking to him. And he's always said, one day he's going to take these home with him. Even when I was 4 years old, my Uncle Mike would always say, he's like, one day Andrew's going to take these things home with him. They're going to be in his basement. They're going to be in his house. And finally, here I am, home with Rocky's head. So my mom took that picture of me in the kitchen and sent it to my Uncle Mike. And she said, happy birthday.
I wonder how he responded to that.
He was laughing, yeah. They never. Everyone in my family never understood this.
Yeah.
They never. My dad did, and my mom, supported. But everybody else, they're like, "You're still obsessed with these things? It's been 30 years." I'm like, it was never a fad, you guys. I can't explain it. You fans, you guys get it. You understand it.
Yeah.
You're
Now,
going through the
this,
same thing, man.
Yeah. Now, this was Andrew's first time on camera holding the banjo.
That is disgusting, man.
It
That's
was
30 years
Yeah.
of dust.
Yeah. Now now I'm not going to reveal much because I'm going to let Andrew explain it all, but it was really, really tough to get that banjo off of Hank because all the screws got rusted and everything.
Yeah, what happened was that banjo's never been taken off, and I wanted to refurbish that, and I didn't have time to do it. Maybe like in the fall I'll refurbish it because look at all that salt like rusting on the banjo side. Look at that. That looks awful. So what I want to do is maybe I want to scrape the orange off, sand it down, maybe try to bring some of the silver back out. If I can't, because some of the silver is still on it, but if I can't, then I'll just paint it silver and I'll paint it really nice. But because I talk in this movie about us doing that, but I never had time to fix it, and cutting it off was really hard to do. I had to get a grinder. You filmed this actually. Remember, I was wearing PPE.
Yeah,
I got the grinder, grinded it off, and there were sparks flying and all that. Yeah, like we had, but we didn't put that in the movie. But still, it took a long time to get that banjo off.
Yeah. Like it was like the what do you call it? The screws got stripped pretty badly.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah. I tell you what though, there was a lot of glitter on that banjo. That's
it was.
I like to call
everywhere.
It was a magical banjo.
Well, whenever you do refurbish that banjo, let me know. I can always help you out because I have that workshop in my side yard.
Yeah.
You can always work it.
Yeah, once we open in weekends only, and we're off during the week. Yeah, definitely, we'll do it then.
Because I got tools and stuff. I got.
Ian also knows how to fiberglass too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm also thinking about refurbishing that little monorail model, miniature monorail.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. It definitely needs a paint job, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now this is
See what I can
actually
do.
this year we actually discovered this on site while we were doing all this.
What?
We were watching the footage from 1999 and you notice how Bubba had different fur. Like this is not the fur from the 90s. This is 2000 up to the present day.
No, I could have told you that. Yeah, because his fur had hair on it, like actual hair, like a million hairs on it. Okay, it was like fur. It was like furry. It wasn't fluffy like it is now. It was different then.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite a discovery that you made right there.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. But I kind of knew that. I mean, you could tell just by looking at that picture from 1999 how different it looked.
Yeah.
There's the picture. There it is.
Picture.
My mom took that picture. And Maisie was barking at it all night.
Oh, yeah. Maisie,
my dog, yeah, she didn't know what that thing was. Anything unusual to her, she'll just growl at. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put this on top of the washing machine so she can't see it.
Now, how long did it take for you, Andrew, to clean off
Like 2 days. Yeah, the water. Yeah, there's a staple. Took another staple out. Maybe that's why I was scraping on it. Because again, I didn't see that the last time.
Yeah. That probably might be another main culprit here. I know you guys got rid of another staple when you guys did a renovation in 2020.
Yeah, so I mean, it's possible that maybe his eyes will stop scraping.
Yep, that will do. That will do. Yeah. Yeah, Ian. Yeah, unfortunately, Rocky almost lost an ear during the procedures.
Oh yeah, he did lose an ear, didn't
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
he? Yeah, we had to sew that back
Sew
on.
back on.
Yeah.
We had to find where the stitches were, and then he
Yeah.
had to. Ian had to just stitch it back on. Speaking of stitching things on, his eyelashes came off. We got to put those back. We got to glue them back on instead of stitching them. I had to peel them off because they got stuck when I was working on his mask a couple days ago. I had to take them off. So
Yeah.
yeah. So like I said, we did a lot of renovation work, but most of this was supposed to be like the original idea was, we were gonna do all the renovation stuff in April and early May, and then once we got to mid-May, and early June, we were going to film all the concert stuff. Never really happened. You know, we ended up doing everything a little here, a little there, and then we ended up putting it all together. Because I thought, you know, if we save all the song sequences for the end of the movie, people are going to get bored by that. And it's true, because what I did was I put all 7 songs back to back at the end of the movie, and people got bored by that. Because we've seen that before, you know? But the reason why I did it was because I put the original audio in there for the show, what it looked like pre-1998.
Yeah.
And again, we're doing 30th anniversary, so I'm trying to put like all the old stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
But the other thing was, it was the clear audio. I never released the clear audio before. This was the first time people heard the clear audio. Like, you could put headphones on, and you could hear the actors breathing while they're talking in between sentences.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's
That's
heard
a
that.
great shot right there.
Imitating a scene from itself.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the bear.
And then we had this scene from the Wonderland movie. I wanted to put this in there too. This was in the director's cut. This scene was not in the original version of the Wonderland movie. This was in my director's cut because I thought it was a good scene.
The April 29th footage that you saw, that was the last time that we filmed it, and then we took how long was a hiatus?
We took like a good 2-week hiatus, I think, from doing this, and then we decided to come back, and that's when we started working on the songs, I think, because we started filming "Hold My Hand" and "Time." We did that like mid-May.
Yeah,
because we said,
that.
you know, like because again we were going to start working on the banjo when we came back from the hiatus, but we realized, you know, we don't really have time. We have to get stuff. We have to get the song, because the songs were the big thing.
Yeah, like we said, by the time mid-May came, we were like, okay, you know what? Time's not on our side here. We have to, you know, grind just to get all this done, you know?
Yeah, like I wanted to fix up Henrietta's dress. I wanted Rocky's eyelids looking better. I wanted Bubba's eyes to work. The air shock in his arm. We still haven't gotten that, by the way. Don't worry, we will.
Yeah, we will.
And, you know, like all this stuff I wanted to do, and we just we had to stop because we had to film the songs and we had a release date, so...
Yeah. That was a depressing moment of the film
crazy
right
they
there
were
when
able- they
Wonder
were able
Bear
to move
got
that
when they
giant
got rid of
statue.
Yeah.
Wonder Bear. That was depressing right there.
Yeah, but that was crazy how they were able to lift that giant statue, that very heavy statue, to.
Yeah, I missed
it's-
that thing.
Yeah.
I wish we
Now
could bring that
this.
back. This was one of the songs that we decided to do because we thought it would make a funny scene if we had dueling banjos in here from the movie Deliverance.
Yeah. and to the kids watching, do not watch Deliverance.
Oh no, that movie's not for kids, but this scene we thought would be funny. So by the way, Alex is filming it and I'm pushing Hank's buttons behind him. That's what's going on.
Yeah. It was the reaction shot. That was my idea. I was like, okay, let's film ourselves, reaction to ourselves. Like, oh my! It's like as if we discovered a gold mine.
No, wait, not just kids, but many adults. I reckon you do not watch that movie.
Yeah,
Oh well, yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
John Voight's a great actor, but yeah, that movie that's got some messed up stuff in it. But that scene, I remember we used that picture of you and me reacting.
Yeah.
And I asked everyone, I'm like, hey, what are we reacting to? Find out June 24th.
Yeah. Yeah. The responses we got were pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
Now this
was from
really cool.
This was from the Wonderland movie. We found this. They put together this whole thing went on for like 10 minutes, by the way, but we edited it down for like 2 minutes. At some point, maybe I'll release the whole thing.
This had to at least air on local television.
I don't know if it did or if it didn't. I don't know. It wasn't in the team video.
Because it kind of looks like that it would have.
Yeah.
Maybe
were actually
at some
on that
point
today,
we'll release it. Yeah, there's no fun deck above the log flume. Look, that sign is still there. Canyon Falls Sawmill. It's still there.
Yeah.
And there it is getting built. Yeah, we got it all, man.
Yeah, this was really actually. That's actually really cool because they were able to do all that in such a tiny amount of space.
Yeah, they had this on a VHS tape. The VHS tape was 16 minutes, and it was labeled "Building Canyon Falls '92."
So that's how they.
So there it is. Yeah, the fall of '91 to the spring of '92. They're building. Those rocks are still there. On the
to
log
this very
flume.
day.
Yep.
Yeah. Now this is really cool. After this film went up the air, I actually showed some of the ride operators at Wonderland all this footage and everything.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Ian was there too, and they were like, "Where did you guys get all this?" And I said, "I have a friend of mine who has all this archive, and and I also showed them all the footage of Wonderland back in the day, and they're like, this is so cool. Why can't we have this? You know?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can watch it now.
Yeah.
Wait, look at this. The same
Control deck,
panel.
yep.
The
No,
same
it's
control
not.
panel.
It's not. Trust me. 2014, when I learned the log flume, the panel was so rotted, and then 2 years later they put a new panel in. So trust me, it's not the
I
exact
mean,
same
it's where
one.
It's where the same controls are, though.
Oh yeah, it's where it's in the same spot, but it's not
They're in
the
the
same
same
control
spot.
panel. No way.
Yeah.
No, it can't be.
Yeah. Yep.
It's so weird looking at that with no fun deck above it.
It
Yeah.
didn't come until 7 years later.
Yeah, fall of '98, they started building the fun deck on top of that. It's so cool seeing that with no deck. And look, no fence
No
around
fence
it.
around
No
it.
fence
No.
yet. Yeah.
That's
Carousel didn't have a fence around it either. All they had was that yellow ring around it.
And most of the kiddie rides, too.
Yeah, you can get away with that back
Yeah, you
then.
could.
Here's another Hootie and the Blowfish song that you did, which is "Hold My Hand."
This scene went on a little longer, but I decided to cut it because, again, the movie was starting to get a little long, and we still had all these song sequences, and we still had the ramp montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we still had a lot of stuff. I thought it'd be cool if we could put in the scene again. You know, it was just an idea. Like, hey, let's do this. Let's add this scene. Let's put this scene in. It has nothing to do with the man and dog, but we'll put it in anyway. You know, and so it's like, but I wanted to have a scene. Like, okay, this goes back to the concert idea because originally the renovation stuff you were going to see, and then you were going to see the concert at the end. Like the last half hour of the movie would have been the concert. Because if you put all 7 songs together from The Man and Dog, it adds up to about 17, 18 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And then you add the other 8 songs that we had in mind, that would have added another, like,
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now, the reason why he did that quick zoom in was that when he was getting up with the guitar, his guitar accidentally got caught in his shirt. And
Yeah. And I wanted to do this song. I always wanted to do a song where I'm just playing guitar and then they join in. And I thought "Hold My Hand" was good because again, we could have done the entire Cracked Rear View album from Hootie and the Blowfish. We could have, but in fact, "Goodbye" was one of the songs I wanted to do because it was a good song on piano, and we had Rocky, and I wanted to do that song. But I thought, you know, if we do that song, it's going to be a lot. So I ended up doing it for the Andrew Sings instead.
Yeah. Oh, this footage.
I found that. Yeah, I was just watching home movies one night with my sister, and we found that, and I said that. I'm like, whoa, put that in.
Yeah, actually, I remember this. We had a watch party that night. This movie went up the air. Like, it was me, you, Ian, and another friend of mine.
Yeah, we had popcorn. We treated it like it was a movie, because again, it was in the movie theater. It was in a movie
we
theater
had
experience.
popcorn. We had 80-inch pretzels.
Oh yeah,
we had
did.
Swedish fish and everything. It was fun.
I only
When that
stayed
scene
half the
came
time,
up,
though.
Andrew basically lost it with him as a kid saying "Wacky" and "Baba" and all that.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I only stayed half the time because
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
Yeah, it was a day. Yeah,
Well, we
it
couldn't see the movie until 10:30 by the time we got off work. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was but it was worth it because we worked really hard on this, and you can tell that we put a lot of hard work and soul into making this into this movie, and yeah, the puppet work was really really tough because. You
gotta synchronize everything.
Yeah, you gotta synchronize everything. I was framing the camera. You two were behind the animatronics pushing these buttons.
Well, originally
it was like operating a giant Muppet in a way.
Well, don't forget the original idea. We were gonna put everything on the chip and put the chip in the show and have them sing the actual master from Hootie and the Blowfish from Darius Rucker. But I didn't know how to program it, so I'm like, we got to do it the hard way now. We got to push the buttons and play the song up here on the CD player and match it up.
I love that shot with the
Yes,
CD
yes.
jack coming up and then just goes.
John filmed that footage and he gave it to me, and I'm like, thank you, John, because you can't find that
Had to be
anywhere
like
else.
the early 2000s.
That was 2003 when he filmed that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think I was like 4 years old when that was filmed.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and we had to wait for the solo. Remember, so one shot, like Bubba's hand right there with the guitar, we had to wait for the solo to come up. You had your camera rolling, and I would just stand there and move
keep
his
in
hands.
mind, we had the songs playing on my TV. Keep in mind, because I had to download the karaoke versions on my TV and synchronize it, and
That shot I love because it looks like you got a spotlight on me. Like the cinematography was really good here.
Yeah.
Like that I love.
Because
I ended up using that as a picture for the community. Like, what song am I singing here? Find out, you know?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Yeah. It goes back to what I said earlier, you know, because I knew this was going to be a movie, so I had to think cinematic here. Like, okay, what did I learn from watching movies? What cinematic angles look awesome? You know, like, so the concert segments, for example, turn the camera down, get the lens flares, get the, everything, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and music fans, no, I get it. This is not how the guitar is supposed to be at. Yeah.
I really am playing that. Like, those are the chords for Hold My Hand, so I am playing that, yeah.
Yeah, he just walks away.
I was thinking of having that for Andrew Sings, but, like, Andrew Sings with the Man and Dog.
Yeah. May 23rd, yep, that was, I think that was like...
This was the last thing that we did before we decided to call it quits and decided to film.
The song sequences.
Yeah.
This was fun to do.
Yeah. Now, when we were doing this, what do you call it? When we were filming this, I actually recorded myself saying that, but I'm surprised that you didn't, because it will be funny as heck. The paint, when I actually said that, the paint reminded me of Tubby Custard.
Yeah, I remember you saying that a lot.
Yeah, it really did look like Tubby Custard. I can't
From
believe
Teletubbies?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm making that reference again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had you had so much footage of me doing this ramp because I had to be very careful with this ramp. Now that paint color, I didn't know what color this ramp was going to be because originally, and I explained this in the movie. You know, we had an oil spill on there. We tried to get it up with oil dry. It looked terrible.
And it was getting beat up anyway too.
Yeah,
it was like gum stains and all over.
But I had to paint it anyway, and I guarantee you, I'm almost certain of this. Had I not painted that ramp, they probably would have painted over that with green because we ended up painting the ground green.
But this took a while for you to paint. This took like a while for you to paint. I actually timed it. You started painting that thing around like I think 6 o'clock at night, and you didn't get it done until like 9:30, like almost 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And keep in mind, he had to do a second coating.
Yeah,
because he had to do a second coating. He had to mix it with like sand or whatever to provide grip because that ramp gets slippery.
No, originally I was going to mix it with sand, and I decided not to because it wasn't that slippery as I thought it would be. So it worked out. Yeah, that worked out good. It looks pretty wet, but when it dries like a different color, like a darker color, much like the color that's on the ramp, and it matches what's going on up there. So that we needed that.
I'll be back on the squares.
Okay. Yeah. So. But we were also playing. But it goes back to what I said earlier. We were playing. Ian just stepped out of the room for a sec, but
yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back for us. But that was a tricky part of the paint, making sure that you didn't go over Wayne's artwork. That was. Wayne
would have flipped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go around like that because I didn't want to get paint on anything, and they didn't know I was doing this. Like I didn't speak to Jay Gillian, I didn't speak to Wayne, I didn't speak to anybody. I just did it because it needed it badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, and now since we filmed that,
and you can see it drying. You can see it drying in the top right corner.
Yeah.
See it? See how it changes a different color when it dries?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is special. This is special paint, guys. This is not a typical paint. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's oil base.
Yeah, this is oil-based paint.
Yeah, because it's a lot harder to get up because people are going to be walking on it. You don't want to put a flat paint on that. That'll come right up.
Yeah.
Especially when you're painting on the ground.
Yeah.
People, because that was something I told Sherwin-Williams over and over again. I'm like, I'm painting concrete. They said, okay. But I said, it's on the ground. People are going to be walking on it.
Constantly.
Yeah. What do I want to use? And they told me what to use, so.
But going back to what you said earlier, right after we finished filming this movie, the whole inside of the pier was painted green.
Yeah, they didn't paint it yet.
Yeah, they didn't paint it yet.
Yeah, but they ended up painting the ground green. I think like the week before the movie came out. I think.
Yeah.
The film was already filmed. It was already filmed, but
yeah, at least it's there so we can see it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And earlier in the film, I did a panoramic shot of the entire pier while you were playing your cassette tapes because I didn't know if you were going to do a flashback. But yeah, I figured people would use that. You know.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the montage worked out really well. Yeah, look at that. That looks so much better. And think about it, like when they painted that, there were no steps, so the only way to paint it was to go from top to bottom, same way I did it.
Yep. Yeah, that was the actual time. Like it was like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah.
When you were doing all that.
Absolutely.
Here's another song that you did.
Union Train, yeah, this was one of the first clips that we released first. Because I had this edit. This was one of the first songs I think I edited because I wanted to see what it would look like. Because we had the flashing lights that we borrowed from a friend of mine for this. People said it reminded them of Chuck E. Cheese a little bit because it was like disco lights almost.
Yeah.
But I wanted to use like different
but the
lighting.
one major difference here is, you cropped out the drumming good.
I know, and that was a good thing that I did that because when I released the clip, people, the one thing people complained about was, well, they didn't complain, they just pointed it out. Hey, you're not really playing the drums. So I'm like, okay, that's good to know. So I'll change that when the movie comes out. I'll crop it.
Yeah.
Because we got.
You did hit the cymbal though. You did.
Oh yeah. It took a long time to set that drum set up.
The funny part was that Butters actually sent me a video, literally not too long after you posted that clip of him performing the same song, but playing it for real on the drums.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Well, let's put that on YouTube, man. Let's get that in the movie.
Yeah. I gotta find it somewhere. I have it on my phone. I just gotta look for it first.
How awesome would it be if we had the fans actually playing instruments to these songs and we mesh them together for a real concert? That would be epic.
Yeah.
That would be the best, man. If we could do that.
Yeah.
There's always next year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think when we were filming this movie and filming these songs and everything, I actually have a newfound appreciation for Shine Time Station. I never even heard of Shine Time Station until we were filming this. I was listening to the songs made by the Jukebox Band, and I was like, dude, they sound like something I hear on a radio, not unlike even for a kids show, they make really good covers. Mm-hmm. It sounds like something I hear in the mid or early the 80s, mid 80s especially.
Yeah, Rocky's eyelids were stuck, so he looks kind of angry. But
oh yeah,
okay,
this is the
here
ultimate cream of the crop.
Here comes the scene that everybody thought. Everyone thought, what? You got the Rocky Mobile in this movie or something?
Yeah.
What's up with the car? Now, this scene is from Wonderland 2, and in the movie, Donovan and I take Dan's car.
Yes.
It's actually my car, but we took Dan's car to go pick up some swing ride parts, and the car gets out of control and the car crashes. And I thought, this scene, we can't show the Wonderland movies, Wonderland 1 and 2, we can't. But I figured this scene maybe we could because it's meant for comedic purposes, and we worked... This had 5 months. Wonderland 2 took 7 months to make. 3 months of writing the script, 3 months of shooting, 1 month of editing. But all during that time, 5 months of planning. And we were filming that scene, Donovan and I, we filmed that scene until 2 in the morning.
Yeah. That was, Now, that guy that you see there, that's actually, his name's Paul Westcott. He's our manager. He's still there to this day.
Oh, yeah, he's there.
Yeah. Oh, this.
Yeah, this was done in 2018. This movie.
Yeah.
Wonderland 2.
I will never forget the night you showed me that scene. Me and Ian, we were laughing non-stop at that sketch. I saw the ride operators that they thought it was the greatest thing they had ever seen.
This took a lot of editing to do. This was a lot of editing.
Yeah.
And that's really us, Yeah, Donovan always used to call himself Flyboy, so we wrote that into the script when we made this movie.
That was his nickname.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a premiere party for this movie, too.
Boy, that sounds
really bad coming from a maintenance man. That's a great joke. I still say that's a great joke.
Yeah.
That's not my car. That's stock footage from YouTube.
Yeah.
This is all stock footage from YouTube. But again, you add it in. We didn't have a budget for Wonderland 2, And I figured this is Dan's car, so that's the horn. Carousel music.
Yup, he still has. Yep, he has the thing.
And this is the 9th Street Bridge going into Ocean City. Yes, we literally did film this on the bridge.
Yeah.
The shot where I swerve out of the left lane and into the right lane, my mom filmed that. I had the camera mounted on a tripod in her car, and she followed me filming that scene in my car. Yeah, this right here. That's real. Yeah.
Dude, it looks real, man.
Yeah. And then we had this scene.
The crazy part about all this is that you almost got pulled over by the police doing this.
We did, yeah. We didn't get pulled over, but there was a time when we almost did, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
But we managed to get
that was
through
sketchy when you were filming that, yeah.
Yeah, I would be in the Fifth Street parking lot where the car explodes. Like, I would be there planning it out, how we were going to shoot this.
Yeah. Oh,
Now, here's the thing. This is a callback to the 90s, because back in the day, the 9th Street Bridge used to open like that. So, yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, the camera's tilted, so it looks like we're going up.
They actually like that.
And that's actually photoshopped. That's Photoshop, obviously. Yeah, this song, I wanted this song to play when we were in the air flying. I thought it'd be so funny. Wait.
Who's the fly boy now?
Who's the fly boy now?
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, and then we come down.
Oh.
This is stock footage, but you add it all in, and
it works.
You get the
really
lighting.
well, man.
Yeah, and then
yes, that line steals it.
I wish
Donovan was funny.
I wish Donovan still worked with us. I miss him.
Actually, I'm not even joking, you guys. I showed my entire family this car chase scene. They had their eyes glued to the TV. They thought it was great and hilarious.
Yeah, now that was the trunk was actually open, and the camera was aimed down at the street while I was driving. Now this scene, we were literally driving down 6th Street, and we go through the barrier. Yeah, we had to be careful.
Yeah. Through
the chains around. Yeah. This is so stupid, but it's stupid fun. But that's the kind of humor that I was trying to get across with Wonderland 2. It was supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a day in the life of the maintenance workers on the last day that we're open, but for comedic purposes, it's not really a day in the life, because I thought it'd be funny. Like, the first movie was a documentary. The second movie is what happens after the documentary gets released between Dan and me. And when we do Wonderland 3 next year, it's going to be the end of the trilogy, because we still have all this footage and we got a story that we want to do, and we're not going to release to the public, but it'll be a good ending for the trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the
this
greatest trilogy since the Star Wars trilogy.
This was all filmed at like 2 a.m. I got bloopers from Wonderland 2. I might release the blooper reel.
Yeah. That is directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, those effects are terrible.
I know.
Yeah, we're supposed to be like that because it's a comedy.
Yeah. We're alone in the parking lot at 2 a.m, and we're praying to God a police car doesn't pull up.
Yeah.
Pulls up at 2 a.m. We're there in the parking lot by ourselves, dressed like that, saying, "Yeah, we work at Wonderland Pier. What are you doing here at 2 a.m?"
Yeah.
And then we walked in.
Yeah.
There was a little more to this scene, but I cut it out where we meet and greet and we say, "Dan, your car is destroyed," and then he says the line,
"Here."
Yeah.
I actually showed that scene to the ride operators, and the ride operators immediately said, "What about your car?"
That was the joke.
Yeah.
He's more concerned with Wonder Dan than he is with the car. That was an idea I had. I said, "Hey, what if your thing said?" Because people called him like Dan Wonderland, because he's a Wonderland. He's obsessed with the place, and I am too. That's why the two of us got along. And and I thought, hey, what if your license plate said Wonder Dan? And Dan's from Pennsylvania. That's why we had Pennsylvania license plates. I thought, hey, why don't we have it say Wonder Dan? And I showed him that, and he laughed so hard when we shot the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point I'm going to release the bloopers, because those bloopers were hilarious for Wonderland 2.
Yeah, Dan, actually in the car scene, I think you were telling me, I think Dan was supposed to be in that, didn't he?
Yeah, but like I said, the script changed all the time. Now, this was supposed to open up the concert with all the new songs, the old songs and the new songs. Yeah, I hate Rocky's eyelids. I know they
so
look.
mad in that footage.
He's tired. He's tired of watching this movie. He's like, let's get it over with.
Yeah, he's like, okay, yeah. Now this is actually interesting because we actually decided to do. I mean, there's nothing really new here. It's just the songs, but I think what was new was A, we shot through different camera angles.
We did.
And B, there's something else we did here, which you guys will see in the coming.
Well, we also had the clear audio. The clear audio.
Yeah, the
was
clear
used
audio.
here
Yeah,
for the
that's
first
obviously
time. For the first time, all 7 songs were released, and
in
there
HD.
he is.
Yep. Yeah, but. Yeah, he was a really good drummer. He really. I remember he sent me all this like early in the year, and I was like, I sent them to you, and we were like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm like I wanted to put that in the teaser.
Yeah, we got Wonder Bear
and
to be in this.
That's you in the Wonder Bear suit, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Wonder Bear actually took the time to wake up from his hibernation to do this movie.
And we bought those. By the way, that's a line from Wonderland 2, actually. There's a moment in the movie where I'm picking up the boxes and I put them in the car right before the car chase scene or the car goes out of control. And I'm telling Donovan, because it's the last day of the year, I'm like, oh, one more day and then it's over. And Donovan says, yep, after tonight, Wonder Bear's going back into hibernation. Like, the lines in that movie were so funny.
Yeah.
But this could have been the teaser. Like, when I saw that this guy drumming, I'm like, dude, this could be a teaser. Like, that's really good. I showed that to my parents. My parents were impressed. I was too. Because that's very close to the master. That's really good.
Like, it's like remastered.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Here we go. Original show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it, yeah. Yeah.
Now, wait, was I supposed to send you the original show with the 3 tracks or a
It doesn't matter. I could still edit it.
Okay.
As long as it was clear. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky's mask wasn't on properly here, so his eyes are kind of messed up. But like this, at this point, when we filmed this, it was 11 o'clock at night. It was the last night of shooting, and we just wanted to get this.
I remember the
on.
date. I
That's
remember
why.
the day too. This was June 1st of 2022.
Yeah,
the next
when we
day
filmed
we
this.
were open 7 days a week from here on out.
Yeah,
so this was our one last chance to get this film in before you started editing it.
Well, don't forget the movie. I already started editing the movie because the movie was going to be out in 3 weeks, but we had to get the ending, and I didn't know how we were going to end it because we ended up using all the songs already. So I thought, let's do all 7 songs because again, it's the 30th anniversary. We got to have the 7 songs in here somehow. We have to, even if you've heard them a million times. We have to
for traditional purposes.
Well, usually we just do Rocky Top and then we end it. But I thought, nah, it's the 30th anniversary. We got to do all 7 songs.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, that poster. That
30 years.
Yeah. Now, because we got that. Now, when we have to take the poster down eventually, I wonder. I wonder what we're going to do with it.
Maybe we'll eBay it. Maybe we'll give it away to somebody,
and then,
or maybe we'll keep it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, moves to the left. See, I told you. Right at that line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ian. What were you saying?
You're probably hanging up in my room. 'Cause I'm the one that made it.
Yeah, that's true. You did make it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you still have the original file to that poster, so you can probably make copies if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, by the time all this was done, it was a long, long period. There was a lot of hard work and soul that went into this movie, and it was like a somber end for our journey here. But I'm glad that we were able to do something like this. And oh shoot, I realized something. There's one thing that we forgot to mention in this movie, but I figure, so there was one thing that we realized while we were filming this. Yes, while we recognized that this year was the 30th anniversary of the Mad Dog, and this year's the 30th anniversary of the Canyon Falls Law Flume, I realized that this year is the 50th anniversary of when we acquired the Carousel.
And it's also the 30th anniversary for Splash Mountain.
Exactly.
That's why we had that opening in for the movie theater.
Yeah, Ian actually edited that.
Yeah,
he actually edited that.
Yeah, the opening previews for this movie, we had the Splash Mountain thing, we had the Siskel and Ebert ad for obviously Actors 317 because every Sunday night we're doing Siskel and Ebert episodes, and we also have. We had the Schweppes commercial, which I love.
That was taken, and that came from the Cats VHS tape.
The musical,
concert, not the
musical
the
Cats.
Universal
from 1998.
Fest,
Yeah. And the trailers, AB in the film's the movie. We got that.
Yeah. Coming up real soon here on Actors 317. No product placement intended.
Coming soon to theaters. And then 2004.
Yeah.
And then Shark Death 2. No, I'm kidding. Oh, did I let that slip? Uh-oh. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
We'll
I'm
see.
kidding.
We'll see.
Let's
I
what
don't
the
know.
future
Let's see
will
what
hold,
happens.
Yeah.
Now the comments are going to be, oh, you have more footage from Shark Death that you didn't show us? No.
No, we didn't. No, we
We'll
didn't.
see what happens. You'll find out.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I'm making Wonderland 3 next year, so...
Yeah.
And nobody's going to see that one, so... Wonderland 3 is going to be like 8 hours long. That's going to be a long movie. It's going to be long.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Yep, I got Andrew in this footage here. Yeah. But now because in this commentary, we didn't talk about what we included in the bumpers. I figured we could quickly talk about that.
Yeah.
So, when you were editing the first part of the film, which was like the bumpers and all that, and just to clarify to the fans, were these bumpers the same exact ones you remember seeing at an AMC?
Yeah, that's why they're there. But they were like, there were a couple different bumpers. Those AMC bumpers were for they were like late 90s.
Yeah, they had that 90s vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also noticed that you included the commercial for. That's really good drumming, by the way.
Well, here's the thing. His timing was a little off from the master drum beat. So what I did was I slowed his down a little bit until it synchronized up with the master. So that way it sounds fluent,
So, but anyway, I noticed, I think a lot of people noticed, they wondered why you included the trailer to the X-Files movie in there.
Great movie trailer.
Yup.
Some friends of mine like that movie. They love that trailer. They're interested in it, and I sent it to them because they like it.
Yeah.
So, well, I like the movie. I think it's a good teaser trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
So I thought, like I said, you're gonna get that '90s vibe when you watch this in theaters. It's gonna be like the '90s. Originally, I was gonna have a trailer for Titanic. Before this movie, because I found a 35mm print of it.
Really?
Yeah, but the trailer. Have you ever seen the trailer for Titanic? It's 4 minutes.
Really?
It's long, and I felt like the trailer reel went on forever. It went on for 7 minutes. So you add Titanic
Didn't
on
Disney
top of
films
that.
do that back in the day with like Pocahontas?
Well, don't forget. You add Titanic on top of that. That's 12 minutes of trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to. I don't want to be like that,
No.
So I took the Titanic one out, and I just left the X-Files in, and I replaced it with the AB in the Films teaser trailer.
Yeah. And then another funny thing you did was that you included the THX. I can't spell.
For Siskel and Ebert?
Yeah,
for The Simpsons.
Yeah, for The Simpsons.
Yeah,
that was funny.
yeah.
It was
I've seen
also
that in the
funnier,
theaters
too. What's
a few
even funnier is that it's because you were promoting Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
They were watching Siskel and Ebert the movie. 2 thumbs up, Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everything came full circle, and yeah. I remember when you set up. Actually, I remember this too. I remember you. And luckily, when we were uploading this movie, we didn't encounter any upload issues this time, unlike 4.0.
No, I started uploading this. I mean, this was the longest one we've done. So this was I started uploading this because again, I would be up for the week. I started getting heavily editing done here 10 days before the movie came out. So I would be up because I had to work at Wonderland all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
We close at 9:30. I'd get home by 10, get a shower, get dressed, eat dinner, then I would start editing. I would not finish editing until sometimes 4 or 5 in the morning. And that went on for the entire week leading up to June 24th. So finally, on June 23rd, leading into June 24th, I finally got it done, finalized it, and no problem. And then I started uploading it to YouTube. I started uploading it at 7 in the morning. and I kept the computer rolling. Any hiccup in there, and it would have been a mistake. And I was constantly checking my phone because I had to go into work that day. And I kept refreshing my phone and said, it's still going, it's still going. And finally, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, is when it finally was going live. And I'm like, yes, it made it through.
Yeah, and
there were no problems with it. I checked while it was going on. There was no
and
issues.
I remember, I had fans asking me too, hey, is this going to be another 4.0 situation? Because I know it took a while and everything. And I said, no, it's not. It's not going to. It's still uploading. It's not going to be like 4.0 where it took like all day to upload and all night, and then it got blocked worldwide.
It takes like 7 hours, to upload that. You got to be careful what songs you put in. Again, that's why the Union Train clip went up, because I wanted to see what it would do with the songs, with the music. So I had to be careful because I didn't want there to be any problems. Because if there were problems with it, if it got taken down on the day that it aired, I would have had to have left the pier, go home, and fix it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that, so I was hoping that wouldn't happen, and it didn't. Everything worked out.
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning, 'cause I don't know if it's a good idea to bring this up, but around May, you encountered computer trouble. By computer trouble, I mean iMovie wasn't working.
Yeah, but that was for another project. That wasn't for the Man and Dog, because I didn't edit I didn't start editing the Man and Dog movie in May. I wasn't editing that in May yet. We had trailers out, but I wasn't putting anything together for it.
But the good news is, out of that, none of the footage or any of the stuff that we saved was lost.
No, because you had all of it.
Yeah, because I had everything. I had backups.
Yeah.
I always back up everything in my computer, but like I said, my computer. I filmed so much for this movie. My computer ran out of space, so I'm going to have to invest in getting like a 1 terabyte hard drive or whatever, like an external hard drive, so that way I have more space.
Yeah. So we got about 10 minutes left in this movie. Do you guys have any closing thoughts before the end credits come up?
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I know we all are, man. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, we're getting a little tired.
But there's one big thing here. I had this film, and that's a big thing I noticed here. The big theme here is nostalgia. Nostalgia can really connect people in so many ways, and this film really does showcase that. Because me, Ian, Andrew, and Dan, we were all hooked onto this nostalgia. And we got one there again. But it doesn't matter what type of nostalgia you have. If it's amusement parks, video games, movies, music, I'm taking care of this.
Don't forget, we also had that Pepsi cup that the bear is holding. We bought those vintage Pepsi cups on eBay.
Yeah,
because I wanted to find 1980s Pepsi cups, and I gave one to you as the Wonder Bear. We had to dress you up as the Wonder Bear, remember? I think did we take pictures and video of that? Because at some point, we have a lot of stuff from behind the scenes of us doing puppet work and everything. We didn't release any of that.
Yeah.
I think we might release some of that stuff.
I think we had like a 7-8 minute clip where you were talking about... I think we had like a 7 to 8 minute clip where you were talking about your plan for the concert and what you were going to do with it and everything.
Was that on day one we were in Ian's room, or was that later?
No, this was not. This was at the pier. You were hooking up all this equipment up and everything, like the lighting and all that.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Do you still have that stuff?
Yeah. I still have it. I still have all that.
Yeah, you might want to send me some of that stuff so I can see it.
Yeah, I think I may have gave it to you when right before you were editing it. So
okay,
But yeah, going back to that message of nostalgia, like no matter what type of nostalgia you have in your life, if it's movies, if it's video games, music, whatever, nostalgia can really connect people, and I think the Man and Dog here really do showcase that, and Wonderland Pier as a whole, because that was the first thing I was introduced when I was a kid, and I think the same could be said for the three, the four of us, and I'm trying to think, it took a lot to get this. It took a lot, and I really am proud that we were able to do this. We were able to celebrate the 30th anniversary of these guys, and I could just ramble on and bore you guys, but reason. Do you guys have anything else here?
I'm too tired to think.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
You said it all. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, like we got so much of it. The fact that we're doing this at all is just blows my mind. Like I'm still in awe that we actually got this movie released. I mean, what impressed me about it was the fact that we got the Shining Time Station songs in here. That was the big thing. I wanted to do more Hootie the Blow. I wanted to do Running from an Angel with that, with like a City Jet montage.
Yeah.
I ended up doing that with Andrew Sings a couple months later.
That was actually really good, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. But I wanted to put that like in the show, like in the movie, like that. There's a scene where we're watching the City Jet on the that little TV that you brought in, and I say like, hey, if you want to ride it, it's over there in the spare parts. Build it yourself. That's when that song was going to lead into the show, but we never did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Mockingbird Hill. This is the last song.
This is the last one here.
But again, originally I was going to have like the concert.
Actually, here's a little behind the scenes thing. We did the songs first, and then after that, we filmed stuff at the Wonder Bear.
Yeah, the Wonder Bear stuff was filmed later because I knew that was gonna be rough because you were gonna have to because that costume's hot.
Oh my, yeah,
it's very hot.
Yeah, not even that thing like gets pretty sweaty in there.
Even before you put the head on, like just being in that, being in the suit, with the gloves and the feet. And I remember we had a hard time getting the feet on your, the Wonder Bear's feet on you, and that's when I realized, wait a second. The camera's not even going to see your feet. You don't even need the feet. Take them off.
Yeah. Oh, and the fun fact, and another thing we did with the Wonder Bear was that we actually also took a picture of me playing on the drums in the Wonder Bear suit.
Yeah, I think we got some footage of you at the drum set, and you held your
drumsticks or whatever.
You held the drumsticks on the drum set, and I remember I showed that to Jay Gillian. I showed it to him like a couple days later, and I said, "Hey Jay, we got Wonder Bear's birthday coming up because June 1st, June 2nd, like the beginning of June."
Yeah, like a couple days later after filming this, it was Wonder's birthday. So.
Yeah, and I showed it to Jay, and I said, "Jay, can we put this on the Instagram page or the Facebook page?" He says, "Oh, that's a great picture. I love that." And later on, I think for 4th of July, they used it.
We used
put it
it
out
for the
there.
4th of July. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little nervous, though, because we had the drum set up there for 2 days, but it was during the week when we were closed, like in late May, I think, or late May, early June, and we left the drum set up there, and we left all the lights and the camera equipment and everything was just laying on the ground, and one of the maintenance guys went up there to, like, work on the monorail, and he went up and stopped and just looked at everything. I'm like, oh no, don't say anything. But he knew it was me, and he's like, we're not open. It's okay. It can look like a mess today. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. You did the same thing again. You slowed the video down to match with the remaster.
Yeah, I slowed him down. I slowed his drumming down like a couple of hairs, just so it would synchronize up with the master, so that way it would sound good.
Yeah.
Here's another song from Old Joe Clark. Now, this song, Old Joe Clark, we were going to have them sing that song. That was going to be one of the concert songs.
Yeah.
But again, didn't have time to shoot it because shooting all those songs took forever to do. We're lucky to film the ones that we had.
Yeah, we did. Now, when I was hearing that song, it really feels like it's. Yeah. I love that picture. Right?
That's 2000, by the way. That picture.
That's awesome.
That's
I
2000.
love that picture, yeah. But yeah, when I was hearing Old Joe Clark, it literally sounds like something I would hear in a Chuck E. Cheese's. Because like it has that beat and tempo and style and attitude.
The Shining Time Station episode, for those who are interested, it's called Schemer Special Club, and that episode I watched so many times. I had that on videotape, that one, because in the 90s they released some Shining Time Station episodes on videotape, and I had a couple of them, and that was one of them, and that had Old Joe Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish I had more pictures. I know there's more pictures out there of them that I have. I know there's more in my attic. I gotta find them.
Yeah.
That's 2007 for those who are interested. That's my dad's jacket I'm wearing when he swam at Kingston.
Look at that picture.
Pool.
I noticed that his hand's missing.
That's early 2007. That picture was taken. That was taken in 2014, I believe.
Yeah.
That's 2000.
Yeah.
That's 1998.
Yeah.
And then here comes the fans' work.
Yeah, this is
Butter. Now Butter 003 made that. He made that. I was going to use that for the opening of the movie, but we got that after the opening was edited. So I thought I'll use that at the end of the movie instead, because I really like that logo.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And here's all the fan videos that they submitted to us.
Yeah, and some of the fan videos I was looking for, but I couldn't find them. Like, I guess they got lost or something.
Yeah.
But again, there's always another time. We can always release more stuff.
Yeah.
Because we got many more Man and Dog videos coming.
Yeah. Yeah, this is that fan video right there.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Like, I love their style.
So many of these
drawing.
were impressive. So many of them, and there were a lot more that we couldn't even fit in.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Lunar Flare Studios. That's her. Yeah, she's got some good drawings.
Yeah. But yeah, this was but this was like I think this is one of the biggest projects that we have ever done.
This was big. Yeah, this was a big one.
Yeah, and we knew this going in, because like, this is a 30th anniversary. Let's go big here. And I think with the fan videos and what we were doing here, I'm very, very happy and thankful that I got to do this with you guys. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, and it's also glad that during production I got hired at Wonderland Pier, and I'm working with you guys now. It's really my life, dude.
And it's also the 10-year anniversary that Dan and I have been working on Wonderland, and here we are making a feature film. This is technically the third Wonderland movie that we did, so it's not Wonderland 3, but it's the third one.
Yep.
We're going to make Wonderland 3 next year.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys, so this has been the commentary on the Man and Dog 30th anniversary. I'm Andrew Boylan.
Ian McGill.
Alex Corson.
And we're going to get some sleep.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get... Actually, one last thing of note. This is typically the thing that you'll see at the end of theaters here. Like, you'll see the MPA ratings and all that, and, yep. See you guys.
See you later.
Later, guys. See you at the pier.
Yep.